me share the right thing. I thought he was playing. He wasn't.
Oh.
Blue Satire is now live.
For real? Oh, wait.
Yeah, for real.
What's good, Cole? You in here you peeking your head in? What's up, folks? How you feeling?
Main event Cole in the
Main
building.
event
What's
Cole
good?
in the
Hell
motherfucking
yeah.
building. Let me tell you. What my? Here you go.
Hi guys.
Yo, Blurred.
Blurred in the building. What's good with you? All right. I'm nervous. Nah, I'm not.
Like, bro, you done did this so many
Get
times.
Way too many damn times.
Lie to us one more time.
But you still get that feeling. I know y'all still get that
Oh
feeling.
yeah,
sometimes.
100%, bro.
Every time.
Yeah.
It never
But
goes away.
we'd rather gaslight you into thinking it's not a real
No,
thing.
go ahead. It builds character. It builds character.
Oh man. Oh, is that video game show that you playing?
Oh yeah, no, this is the graph. This is somebody's X play. He's doing graphically impressive Super Nintendo game.
Yeah, that video game show. I think is the YouTube channel. I love
Shit,
that
I don't
channel.
know.
Which one's talking about?
Yeah, there you go. Let me subscribe. Yeah, okay.
I
You
was
know,
like, I know that font. Hold on.
you know. And now it look good as hell,
What was that?
bro. It was some stuff that was this really do look good.
It looks great.
Like this was ahead of its time, bro.
Well, imagine, back then too, it was like 3D graphics
Groundbreaking.
only exist.
Mhm.
Playing Star Fox on Super, you're like,
Nice.
yeah. Especially back in the days when you weren't buying games regularly, you were renting them. You were like, you didn't even know what was going on. You just saw the packaging.
You
Stuff
ain't
was hard
look.
for no reason.
Must be nice.
The packaging back then, bro, would be so misleading sometimes though. I know y'all remember Mega Man.
Oh,
Like, who the fuck is
Okay,
this?
Mega Man's packages are legendary. This
grown
they had
ass
different
man?
artists for like every fucking cover, man. This shit was
And it was hilarious,
Don't hate on my my Street Fighter Cross Tekken Mega Man. All right.
bruh.
no promises, man.
Oh my god.
Wah, 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 wah. I did tweet this, right? Yeah, I did. I had a whole picture I could have tweeted with it, and I didn't do it.
Hold on.
We was talking about that the other day. My mom used to say, "I'm not buying that all the time.
I'm not buying that
That lives
shit.
rent free. I'm not buying that. Play the games you got at home." I beat him, mom.
Boy,
But I
You got
will
Street
play it
Fighter
again.
already. Why you
Yes,
need another
come
one?
Oh, she wasn't buying that at all. We'll get into that.
Is this Street Fighter 3 Alpha? Cause that
Hey,
I've got a
Oh, that's
heartbreak
two.
story to
That's
share
two.
about my
Look,
retro days.
look, FYI, you know I love you, but you tagged the wrong person
I
in
did.
your tweet. Yeah.
Who was that?
Me. You didn't tag me correctly.
Oh shit! God damn. It be like this
Why
sometimes.
Fred sound like Blue about to get fired? Like he sound like the executive.
But it's highlighted on my. I don't get it because it's highlighted. It's highlighted on my thing. I was like, why did it tag you?
I hate to piss Prez
This is
off.
going on
Don't
your
come and tell me what I
performance
did.
You know what's crazy though? I'm low key. I'm probably about to get the President Award for all my other social media.
Do something because it's
On
hard. And I'm just.
here and on YouTube. Is and the rest is not.
I just tweeted it again. Siri, what's good? Scott, what's up? Rosa, what's good? See, now I want to go back and play
assistant
this.
to yell at me, please.
Oh, no, he can yell at me anytime he wants to. Y'all heard that? What?
He gotta read me a bedtime story. That's all I need. I'll be knocked out 5 minutes flat.
Sleep, bruh.
That's premium content.
How much?
Premium content. Yeah.
Did it do it? Did it tag you this time?
Yeah. You,
All right.
you know, I'm picking
All
this.
right. I can't leave the goat out, Well, one of the goats, 'cause, they all
I
here.
got you retweeted.
They
Y'all
all here.
all are here. That's fact.
Boy, hush.
Everybody.
Cause you here too. Everybody's so creative.
Oh my god.
I ain't gonna lie, Glenn. I ain't smell
Everybody's
goat in the
hungry.
chat till you got here. All of a sudden, like,
Right.
know who
You,
that is.
you smell it and it's just there.
You know what? I'm gonna leave.
Nah.
I'm gonna just take off. I do not want to, because
I'm
real
saying-
goats smell like shit.
Woo.
And you know we gonna keep it a buck about that one. Them damn
Look,
petting zoos.
Ooh,
man.
boy.
it's not a-
Tanja, what's good? What time? Let me see. We been here. Look, we can go ahead. I ain't gonna lie, I've been stalling.
Let me hydrate real quick.
You know you gotta hydrate. You gotta do it on camera though, so she don't call us a lie.
You
Hold
know
on.
what?
real
You
quick.
stalling? I got something for you.
What
Hey, this goat needs no introduction.
Ooh,
He been doing it since been doing it. It's been
since
a
been
thing.
doing it.
You feel me?
You smell
If
them.
you want to talk retro, if you
Mm.
want to talk video games, if you want to talk about bringing people together, the Man Blue Satire is it.
Okay. We gonna go ahead and come up in here on that one then. You know what I'm saying? What up, everybody? Welcome. It is Retro Appreciation Week. We got a bunch of homies here to chop it up with y'all, but also remember that y'all are part of the show too. So if you got any comments, any questions, highlight them, and I'll try to remember where they at. I'm not, but if I see it, we're gonna talk about it. But this is the Teachers Lounge, so we wanted to come together, start the week off by just talking about some retro things. We got a bunch of questions. If you got questions to ask, and we just want to kind of give everybody a chance to just let you know what retro means to them. But first, let's let everybody introduce themselves. I guess we'll start from this way over, clockwise. What they be saying? Counterclockwise? How you do that? No, it's clockwise actually. So we're gonna start with Pred.
Yo, what it do? I am the President Noir, variety streamer, good friend of Blue. My channel is kind of chaotic, but also community based. We do a lot of things. We do retro pretty often. We play a variety of stuff. We have a good time. We also have Office Talk Tuesdays, where we pretty much just talk about whatever's on our mind. It's a variety podcast show. But I'm excited. I'm here, honored again to be on Blue's channel, surrounded by these amazing creators, and excited for this conversation.
You said clockwise, my bad.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I had to make sure I
I know
said
my
the right
time. I
direction
know
my
my
damn
time.
self.
I'm Joe. I go by Joe After Work on Twitch, and I play a variety of games, a lot of retro stuff. I also occasionally do some random cosplays that may be a bit questionable in my life decisions in my 30s, but we're here.
And we love it.
Just talk a lot of nonsense, video games, wrestling, a little bit of everything going on. I love a lot of Botchamania too, so you'll see a lot of that going on the channel as well. Yeah.
Hi everybody, my name is Steve, or Conky Talks. I stream a variety of different games, play retro on occasion. I try to focus on conversation and the human experience. I just enjoy talking with people and getting to know them. I try to live by that mantra of you or me living a different life. And I'm glad to be here too. Thank you for including me.
And that's the GOAT over here.
What it do? My name is Glinty TV. People call me Glint. Call me Eric if you want. I am your fitness and financial freedom, financial literacy enthusiast. And then we play some video games. We play all type of stuff. I'm a Rocket Leaguer. A lot of people know me for that, for the most part. But positivity is the main key. Just being better than we were the day before. You know how I go. But I'm here to talk some retro. And some of you guys know my journey. But I'm surrounded by these goats. I'm more like a moat. But
Wow.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh no.
Go on, get on.
You had your turn to introduce yourself. Don't come back.
Don't come back. Nah. And of course, I love to have these conversations with folks and want to have more in the future. But for this, everybody here got a reason why. I just remembered as far as retro goes, why I followed them or why I picked them. If you talk about Prez always doing some kind of creative with retro. like the retro roulettes, the obscure gamings, and I know you did that thing with Ash with the 2 people 1 controller. That wild. And then like Joe and Conker, like they were actually 2 of the first people that I followed on Twitch like 3 years ago because of retro. Which is because back then when I was looking, everybody was playing the same thing, Call of Duty, shooters. I'm like, man, who playing the stuff I used to like? Oh, the stuff I like right now. And I look up retro, like, oh, hold on, who the hell, who is that? What Joe doing? Okay, Joe after work. Joe after twerk. Okay. Then Conky Talk had all the things going in his stream. Like he made me want to be more creative because of how creative his stream was. But he was also playing Ocarina of Time, which is one of the GOATs. And then Glenn always talks to us about his experiences. Glenn always talk about his experiences with retro growing up, and now watching him and his journey on getting to play games that he never got to play before. And it's cool to see his perspective now on retro compared to what it was back then. So first question I got, and this is gonna be the first retro question, and we're gonna get into other stuff first because it's retro week, not just the gaming. I know Twitch is mostly gaming, but nowadays it ain't about gaming anymore. It's everything. So the first question I got is, what does retro like mean to you as a content creator? And if you got the answer, anybody can go.
I'll go. For me, retro started off like seeing other people play and me learning like how you can get certain retro games or how you can play certain retro games. So anytime I get to like sit back and learn about a game that I didn't get to experience as a kid, some people be like, oh man, you ain't get to play this, you missed out. But what it does do for me is like, I remember walking through like Best Buy and Circuit City and places like that and seeing the packaging of games, and still it's like a book almost. Like when you see a book, the cover is what brings you in. So as a kid, when you see the fucking cartridge and booklet and you open up a new package of gaming, man, it's like every time it's a new experience. So I didn't get that experience a lot as a kid, so I just remember like, oh damn, I remember that game. I didn't get to play it, but it the art and everything brought me in. I thought that was cool.
It's funny you mentioned the books, man. Books used to be so dope. Not too many people make booklets still. I know, what's their name? The people that make the Story of Season game, XSEED and Marvelous, they still put books in their games. So I buy those physical. But that book, man, I used to make you so much more excited once you got to the house to play the game. I'm in the back seat in the car. Ooh, what's gonna be in here? What this do?
Right. Yeah, man. The car ride home was like a huge part of that experience, right?
Like fun.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think with Glinty, it was the same thing with me. It was like sometimes you don't get every game that you want to get as a kid. So like sometimes you'll go to the Toys R Us and you see a game, and I know we complain about video game prices nowadays, but like it was just as high, if not sometimes higher back in the day.
Higher,
right?
Yes. Yeah, it was like $70-$80 for certain cartridges.
Yeah, 007 being $80.
Yeah.
Man.
People don't know. They act like it didn't happen. That's probably because we wasn't buying them.
Exactly.
right, exactly.
I'm the same way now, though. I'm not buying that. My mom used to say it time after time after time. So now I'm in this. I'm not buying that. I'm like, damn, I sound just like. Let me go ahead and buy it. But I did fumble though, because KK kids get you. She walked into me. I didn't even know she knew about. I think it was like Mario Sunshine or one of the games that I seen Cole play. She was like, "Can you buy Mario Sunshine or whichever one of those 3D Marios?" I was like just not even thought about it. I was like, "Dang, she know about it? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it just cause she brought it." So it's a different world for her. My mom got me in games. My dad, he wasn't having no parts. He came up in a world where the man was like at work all the time. So for me to have time to play games, for my mom to introduce me to games, he thought it was a waste of time. So my child walked up to me and I was, girls got your dad by the throat. It's over. And they asked me for anything, I'm there.
Yeah. I guess the question, what does it mean as a content creator? as I'm always thinking about different things that can either be, you know, interactive for the community or engaging for the community, it's nice to be able to kind of in a way transport my people back to when I was a kid, right? So showing them all the games that I used to play that I know like the back of my hand. And not only from a community building perspective, but it's nice when you're playing your favorite game, somebody else comes in and is like, yo, I love this game, and now you got somebody new that you can converse with,
Right.
talk about how, you know, back in the day, oh, this was such a great experience. And definitely, it's funny y'all were talking about like the ride home. So most of my gaming when I was a kid was mostly through rentals. So whenever I would open up that Blockbuster case and it didn't have the instruction book, I was damn near devastated, right? Because like
Crying.
all I got is the disc. I really just got to sit here and stare at the or stare at the cartridge till we get home. Like that book was definitely an integral part of retro experiences. And now, of course, nowadays you get on a game and every instruction is built into like the first 15 minutes of the game. So it's just basically a playable tutorial to teach you how to play it versus you having to get the book. And that's why sometimes retro games are harder for people to play, because you jump right in. You're supposed to know what you need to do. Now, of course, there were, game design aspects where they would kind of ease you into all of the mechanics and stuff like that. But for the most part, if it's either get in there or you're gonna have a bad time.
Fact. Games was hard as shit too.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't no patches. You gonna
Still
get
hard as
you get this. Need to keep you playing this game as long as possible until we make the next one, because we can't patch it up. Ain't no DLC.
Mhm.
What you get is what you get.
Yep.
What about you,
Sometimes
Tom?
that would bite you in the
I mean,
ass.
It
was.
funny about not having patches. I just thought about this. So sometimes you don't realize, like, yeah, they didn't have patches, but they did have revisions of games, and it was impossible for you to know whether or not you got the revision or not. So like,
It had a little code
I
on the
didn't
back.
really, I didn't really get familiar to that until emulation, right? And now I started playing things like Mega Man, and found like, oh, they had like 3 versions of this game. I didn't even know.
Okay, yeah.
So, so it's kind of cool thinking like they kind of stealth patched in a way. It was like either you had the good version or you didn't.
I think I found out with the Game Boy Advance SP, like that's like a V1, V2 version, and the best version, the screen is way better and the battery life is better, but you wouldn't know unless you kind of read the box. They just kind of stopped putting the other ones on the shelf and replaced them with one that had a better backlit screen. And it's like, dang, I never noticed that until I actually sat there and looked at both the ones I had. One said V102 or something, and the other one said V101 or something like that. What's good, Curls? Cocky, what about you?
For me, retro, I feel like it's like I think about how I got it. It's nostalgia, like I got into video games because, I guess like video games left my life. We couldn't afford video games, so I was always like a generation behind. And so like I remember being outside a lot, and then like my 7th or 8th birthday, I got Super Nintendo with like Super Mario All-Stars. And I remember like when I was a kid, we'd go to my aunt's house because she would babysit me all the time, and I remember playing like Super Mario Duck Hunt combination on like the NES. And then video games like disappeared from my life, and then like I remember getting All-Stars, and I'm like, damn, these graphics are crazy. And then from there I just like became super obsessed with like playing games. Mario 3 was like a staple in my household with my dad, and yeah, man, it's just oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, before we move on to outside of games, I'm gonna ask everybody here, because I know this is always a big, when you said that, what's everybody's favorite Mario game of all time?
3.
Chat 2.
3.
It's World for me.
World is solid. I'm not even gonna pretend.
And let's keep it 2D. Let's keep it 2D.
Okay.
So out of those,
I was gonna ask. Yeah. World for sure for me then.
Oh, see, okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting everybody to say 3, because I'm just
It is
used to
World.
everybody saying 3.
I didn't. Well,
World.
this is pre-internet, right? So like, when you guys found out about like these games, was it like in sequence, or did you guys like? Because I know for me, like All Stars, I got the one that didn't include World. So I didn't know World existed until I went to like an uncle's house and they had a Mario game, and I was like, I don't know what this is. And they're like, oh, that's Super Mario World. You'd like that.
I can't do that.
So World was a launch title for Super Nintendo. So the moment that system came out, I didn't have it, but I went to school and everybody was like, "Oh my God, we got this new system and Super Mario is so great." And I'm just like, "Yeah, that sounds wonderful." As I played with my Atari 2600.
I feel the pain in when you say
Atari. I would say 3, but I gotta go World 2 just because that introduction to Yoshi, I was like, hold up, that's a horse.
And all the secrets too, you know, like
Facts.
all
Like,
the secrets, like going through the map and like finding a different door without, because again, no internet. So you're just the
I missed them
adventurous
times.
aspect of it was like completely different.
I
You
missed
know,
them
you just
times,
played those
bro.
games until you found something new. You know, like the Star World was crazy.
The
Star
Star
World was
World,
crazy when you were a kid,
yeah.
man.
Oh my God.
And there was like this weird tribal knowledge thing going on too for like people who were like playing that game regularly and then like sharing that with you. And you're like, oh, I don't even know what that is. And they like take you to Boo Mansion and like, oh, you got to take the key all the way here and like all this shit. And I was like,
How do you find that out?
yeah, how did you figure that out?
Like,
Yeah.
that was so many games, bro. Like
YouTube.
Yeah.
it wasn't no
Yeah,
YouTube back then.
I know.
You mean YouTube? Like
Yeah,
I
the
fuck
Game Pro
YouTube,
and the Nintendo Power
YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, just with I like that conversation. I hear a lot between Mario 3 and World. And like I know 3, my mom, I used to watch mom beat that one, but like it just something about 2, the colors, the way it pops, like
Yeah.
it was. And then like you said, how did you find out the sequels? It just, my grandma had both, so I kind of I think I played the SNES before I played the NES, cause that was the one, she had the Super Nintendo in the back room where we can all play, but the Nintendo was in her room, so I never got to play that one because I ain't going in her room because I ain't trying to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So when she finally let me play it, I was like, oh, what's this? And that's when I seen the golden cartridge for Zelda.
Yeah.
I seen the Mario Brothers 3. I was like, so I played 2 first. And that might be the only reason, well, not 2, but World first and 2.
2 my shit.
It's different, but
The music is,
I appreciate it way more
Yeah.
now than I did then.
yeah. I think a lot of just the retro scene, like seeing how far we've come to, and there's like, it's just a magical era because like we didn't have internet. I think that was probably like the biggest thing because like in order to promote the game, like even like strategy guides that were released had like artwork that weren't
man.
available in the manuals and shit.
Look,
or
see,
like were
we here,
shared
but
from
let's just keep that
Nintendo,
going.
you know?
Because I showed some ask about it later, but F it. We in it.
Yeah.
let's talk about that because
Strategy guys.
just the information part, period. I think I think with retro, I think that's why the nostalgia hits so much because of how we had to find out stuff. We didn't have to, we weren't looking for everything, or we wasn't
Right.
getting spoiled as much. Like it wasn't all there for us to see. Like those playground conversations, those bus conversations was dope.
Yeah.
Like if you
Or,
play
like, making a
Pokemon
new friend, you know,
That-
like making a new friend
in
just
real
from-
life,
Yeah, in
Yeah.
proximity
Yeah.
because you guys were talking about a game where there's like a new kid or some shit. Yeah.
like I remember playing
Yeah.
Pokemon, bro. And how did y'all find out about the Masingo glitch? If
That
you know,
was
if you know,
summer camp knowledge, dude. That shit was crazy.
You just told me
That was
about it.
recess.
Like I went to the YMCA summer camp and there was like a group of kids with Game Boys and they were like, yo, I got this, like freaking out. And I'm like, how did you guys do this? And then they sat me down and they were like, here, you got to do this with us. And they walked me through it, Cinnabar Island, like all that shit. And I was like, I cannot believe you guys figured this out. Who told you?
like
And
how
then it
did you
was just, like,
know?
each kid had a different story about like how they came up with it.
What was one of y'all biggest secrets that y'all found out on the playground, if y'all can remember? Or
It was easily that one for sure.
yeah,
That
The
and
link
the
the
Pokemon
link
trading
cable
link
cloning.
cable. Yep, that was
yeah.
gonna say yep. That was recess right there for me.
Yeah.
I think
Wait, what is that?
So like if you trade a Pokemon, you can actually clone it where 2 people had the link cable, and then if you're trading, let's say I'm trading an Articuno and you're giving me a Rattata, before the Articuno fully goes over, you turn off and disconnect the link cable, and that person has your Articuno, but when you go back in, your save file
still
still
have
goes back
your-
to like the previous save, and you'll still have
Cheat
your
code.
Pokemon.
Oh,
Yeah.
y'all a bunch of hackers. I'm telling you.
Bro, it's so much,
Get
man.
on the
Like,
phone with NASA right now.
I think you would enjoy going back and seeing some of the
They tell
secrets.
you not to do it. Like the instructions were like, "Don't do that." You're like, "Oh, I don't know if it's gonna break my Game Boy or whatever." But it had to
Yeah.
be one rebellious kid. He's like, "I'm just gonna," you know?
Right.
Yeah. Super cool.
Like they had it, and then I remember when we moved to gold and silver, it was like, damn, we ain't got the Masingo glitch no more. But there's a PC glitch where you can clone items and the Pokemon. I just forgot how to do it like a would.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
But back then I knew how to. I just don't remember it anymore. I remember you had, it might have been the same method that you talking about with the trading thing. Like you
Probably.
turn the game off before it saved. But like
Huh.
once you did it, you have one of the item, and then you had that Pokemon in that box too, which was
Oh no, the cloning of items was like on original Game Boy. I don't remember the
no you
way
could
to do it.
yeah. So I'm about to show the screen on the. Let me hold on
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick. Let me see.
Huh.
Yeah, why you showing that? My Pokemon journey started
Wrong button.
like very late. So I was about to go to Korea,
Wrong button.
and somebody told me to buy a Nintendo DS, so I went and got all the red, blue, and that's how mine started.
Damn it.
So, Soul Silver, that was the first one I completed by myself. It had me captivated.
Soul
That's a
Silver
great
was
remake of
with
that
the
game.
with the walker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cool.
Where my camera
And
at?
I had Alpha, what is it called? Alpha Sun?
Alpha Sapphire? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, on a 3DS.
I mean,
That's
you know
another
that
really
that's
good
still
remake.
Yeah.
that's to
Yeah.
me that's still right now, since you can't buy it in the store no more. You can't buy it. That's
Mhm.
my rule on retro. If it's
Mm.
3 generations or 2 to 3 generations back, or you can't buy it in the store no more.
I
Yeah.
don't even
Yeah,
know
that,
why I
that was
bought
a
it.
question
But
I
it's
was
fire
actually
though.
going to ask. What do y'all consider retro? That was actually something I had in mind to ask.
I was gonna bring it up because I saw Sco say in the chat that like he said anything before PS1 is retro to him. Like shit, it's more than that now.
PS1.
PS3.
It's more than that now.
I'm like looking at an original Xbox and a PlayStation 2, and I'm like, my heart hurts a little bit.
Yep.
And now I'm looking at a PS4. You know, I'm like,
What's-
you're on your way.
But see,
Right.
this
I say PS3 and back.
Oh
I
god,
would,
that
I
That's
would
where I'm
totally
at.
agree with that. Yeah.
that's why I'm
yeah,
at.
PS3, yeah.
Yeah.
Xbox 360, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
They not
crazy
in
'cause
production no
I
more.
Just watched, nope. And I just watched the Last of Us series and realized the Last of Us, the very first release was in 2013 on
Yep.
PS3. It was like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 10
We need
years
a
ago.
remake for that one.
Don't
Yeah.
you
I
ain't had to put
remember.
that number there.
Speaking of ugly ass Gold Duck, so Tuesday y'all not gonna want to fuck Gold Duck too. It's
Gold Duck, come on,
fuck Gold
man.
and Colbert know why I said fuck Colbert. Fuck not Colbert. Gold Duck. Let me tell you a story real quick.
No, man.
So we were playing.
Damn, Cobra caught a stray.
So we were playing. What did he say? Fuck me for?
Yo.
But so we were playing. So you know, on Scarlet and Violet, you can shiny hunt together now, right? So we were looking for something else, and Gold Duck just kept interfering and pissing me off. So I saw one. I said, "Man, fuck you, Gold Duck." And Cole went right by and was like, "Hold up, that big pink. Hold on, that's a shiny." And caught that bit right in front of me. And forever, and it's forever fuck Gold Duck after that.
So you made that shit. Then. You made that shit.
Right.
But speaking of Gold Duck and ugly ass Gold Duck, the homie Last Black Spartan, I'm gonna go plug it now since it's on the screen. 7:30 Eastern on Tuesday, he gonna be doing the tier list of Pokemon sprites from Gen 1. And as y'all can see, the hoes ugly.
Yo.
Look like you about
I
to
have a
beat some
similar
ass.
body type.
Yo. But
That's wild.
but yeah, you said I saw someone say they were born when the Atari came out. That ain't what that was. I'm not
1955.
bust out.
My back
Come on,
hurt hearing that.
Come on, bro. Don't
Like
do
I was
this.
so
do
transparent. I was born 1990, so like I still was able to play Atari because it was still around.
Yeah.
And this came out. Pokemon came out what 95, 96. 97 maybe. It might have been 97.
I'm gonna go check.
But it's been a minute.
Original, the
Yeah,
wood
we got it
grain
the year
Atari
after.
2600, September 11th, 1977.
It ain't that bad.
1996. for
96.
blue and
Cause
red.
by the time you
Yeah.
hit 10, like the Super Nintendo and Sega out, so it's like you still in a good little mesh. And go back to mother screen now.
Oh, we got it 2 years later in the States, so it was 98.
It was 2 years.
okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
I thought it was a year for some reason. Yeah.
But yeah, those used to be the time, bro. Like
Wild.
I think that's, and you know, this they'll go with that. Compared to how we get news now, I think that's why it's so much negativity and stuff with gaming, and everybody wants everything at the same. Right now, I need information right now. But we were
Yeah.
getting these magazines. Well, the magazines used to be so fire, bro. Like
Game Pro.
Game Pro,
Game Pro,
Nintendo
yeah.
Power, dog.
Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Power.
You gotta go to the grocery store, dude, right? With your parents,
bro.
and then
And
you're like,
I'm
going
gonna
to
be in the book
magazine rack.
section. I'm gonna be in the
Yeah,
book
I'm on.
Oh
section.
man.
Do what you gotta
I
do.
actually
Let me know when it's
Tips and
time to go.
tricks. I
got
still
a
remember
funny
that
story
tips,
about
tips
that.
and tricks magazine where they were like, you can catch Yoshi in red and blue.
Wait, what?
Oh,
There was
do
like,
you?
there was like two
I do
pages about
remember
like,
those.
yeah, there was just like rumors, you know,
Mhm.
and everybody. There was always that one kid that swore he did it and was like, bring your Game Boy to school, and he
And
never
I'll
did.
show
It was
you.
like-
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I was
Seriously,
about to say that out loud. Like, how many? Let's just be real here. You ain't gonna go to jail for it.
Oh,
How many people used to take them discs out the magazine at the grocery store, bro?
I talked about this last time we did.
I got in
this.
trouble.
Dreamcast
walk out reading it.
magazines to come out.
You got in trouble?
I got every.
I got caught, bro.
Oh,
Damn.
I got caught. I got caught. It's funny that you was going. I didn't think you was going to ask, but I was like, yeah, that's my experience with the magazine, bro. I got caught.
Woo.
Bro, the shop right around the corner, dog. Buddy walked up to me. He was like, give me my magazine. Scared the shit out of me. I gave him that magazine right back.
Here you go, bro. I'm
They
sorry.
got your picture on the wall.
Oh, man.
He cannot go here, but
Bro, you can't
I
get
love
him, bro.
Nintendo Power though. So, but yeah,
Mhm.
I say, I don't know if we answered the
Oh,
question.
God.
Everybody else here did. My thing in retro, like I said, if I can't buy it in the real, if it's not on retail anymore, like if I can't go to Walmart, or if I can't buy it online, or there ain't no eShop for it, rest in peace. Then it's retro for me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
and that's because we getting older. Like back in the day, I used to say, oh, if it ain't under the PS2, then it ain't retro. But I was saying that like what 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Time fly.
That's how you protect your like, you know, you aging. You're just
Basically,
like, it's not retro, okay? It's just not retro.
It's just old. We'll say it's old. It's
About to
old.
travel
It's
down
old.
the road. I ain't
And then
prepared.
somebody's like you, and you're like, listen, okay, I'm
Damn.
Ooh,
trying
Circuit
to
City.
preserve my childhoods in some way, okay?
But I'm with y'all that say the PS3. You know that PS3 timing down because
Mhm.
I mean that was what
at this point.
06, 07, 08,
Long time
05.
ago.
Yeah.
That's almost 20 years.
What's
Yeah,
six?
P-
I was
PS4
in
on the way.
college.
Oh,
2006, yeah.
It's crazy
on
to
the
think
way.
about
Like
PS4 being retro. Yo,
I mean when the PS4 came out, 09?
Oh man.
Nah,
what?
it might have been 2011,
14?
2013 or something like that. 2013.
13, 14,
2013.
So
Yeah.
that ain't we
What?
still got some time. We still
Yeah.
got some time.
Because
That's
Last of Us
still
was like one
not
of the
long.
last.
do we
games.
really?
You got 5 more
Nah,
years.
They got some time. They got some time. That's insane, bro.
GTA 5 dropped. And it's still
That's
dropping
crazy.
here. What you mean? Like when
I was about to
GTA
say-
which time?
Yeah, it's still dropping.
Which
I was like, it's
time?
still releasing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Which time did it
Oh,
drop,
man.
bro?
Pretty soon they're gonna drop the story mode and they'll just have like GTA 5 online. Only, you know, like-
so GTA 5 dropped on what PS3 and 360 first, right?
Yep.
And then they
Yeah.
dropped it
Put it on there.
again on PS4.
Have it on there.
And then last year
September
they dropped it
13th.
again on PS5.
September in 2013, bro.
It's gonna be like Skyrim. It'll be on toasters at some point.
Bro, I'm so
Years.
tired of Skyrim, bro. Oh my
Man.
god. And I love the game, but damn, how many times we gonna remake this shit?
Well, after the whole
Skyrim.
Microsoft acquisition, they were like, Todd Howard, you cannot talk about Elder Scrolls 6 until like it is actually ready. And he was just like, okay, we'll
Well,
cancel all our future meetings because I was just gonna hype it up for 4 more years.
But in the meantime, here's Skyrim Super Special VR Extra Edition.
Yeah.
5. Like that's what it was.
Been fish now.
If we wait long enough, it might end up on a PS1 as a demake or something.
But this
Yeah.
this is good that we come together and talk about stuff like that, because it kind of like I'm a competitive person, so we talked about console wars before, but to have conversations with y'all and just to talk about our journeys with retro and what we went through as kids, it kind of takes away from that competitive Xbox versus PS4 and stuff like that. And
We gonna get
shows
there,
the
though.
Appreciation. For me, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
We gonna get there about some console wars though, but not the
Yeah.
console wars that's going on right now. And I know,
feel like
and I know, Glenn. I know you looked into that a while ago. I know you watched a documentary on it.
Yeah.
That was a good time. But before we let's take a break from the games real quick and talk about the other aspects of retro or throwbacks. So outside the gaming, when it comes to like older things, what are some of the stuff that y'all like the most? And we'll start from there, like favorite cartoons or your favorite TV shows, fashion, food, or music. Like what was y'all vibe as a kid if you wasn't playing games?
So for me, basically, once I got home, got my homework done, we were pretty much waiting on 6 p.m. 6 p.m. come on, Doug on Nickelodeon, right? So we start with Doug on Nickelodeon, that go off. Rocco's Modern Life would come on after that at 6:30. 7 o'clock hit. What was it? Clarissa Explains It All, I think. Right after that. Like I had a schedule, and that, like, when I think about being a kid and just like how those shows were kind of like my level ground, because as a kid I've talked, like I was really reclusive as a kid. I didn't, I wasn't outside touching grass like that a lot. So those shows were kind of like my entertainment. I was pretty much just schoolwork and cartoons. It wasn't until I, became a teen that I really started to like become a bigger social person. But yeah, Doug, Rugrats, pretty much all the Nickelodeon shows. Like I didn't get into Cartoon Network shows until like I was damn near a preteen. So yeah, I was definitely a Nickelodeon GAT kid for sure.
Nickelodeon was
I
that
feel
gas.
that.
I don't know if anybody remembers, because I was very much a Nickelodeon kid too, but Nick Arcade,
Ooh,
Oh, bro.
what? Hold on.
6:30 a.m. I
Me
would
and
watch.
Blue was just,
Hold on, bro. Hold
We were
on.
talking about that.
Oh my god, that was my jam. Saturday mornings before like WB Kids would pop on 6:30. It was Nick Arcade.
'Cause she knows
7
she
o'clock,
pissed me
Double
off.
Dare twice. Oh my god, that was my jam right there. But
Double Dare.
Friday nights in particular, there's a radio
Right.
station where I live, Z100. They would do the countdown, the top whatever at 9 p.m. I would get my cassette, and that's how I recorded like half the songs. I got half of my mixtapes done for all the songs that I wanted to listen to. And I would run that cassette to the ground whenever I didn't have, because you get one, boom. I didn't get all the albums or anything like that. That's how I was listening to music. I would go to every radio station
And
over the
record that
weekend at my
bit.
grandma's, record it.
Yeah.
I feel
Dog.
that.
That's how you used to, if you had a phone back then. Hey, can't get to you, but listen to this song. You play with the song on Spotify.
You already know, bro.
What?
You had to do it.
He said the original Napster. What y'all know about Napster, bro?
Bro.
That's how we
Dog.
had to do it.
Dog.
I don't know if you guys saw that meme floating around with like that audio from Tim Robinson on I Think You Should Leave, where he's like, I'm not worried about it. I didn't do anything. But it's just like the prerequisite was like me installing LimeWire on my parents' computer, pretending like I didn't give it a bunch of viruses.
But I don't know what happened.
I'm
But-
not worried about it. I didn't do fucking shit.
You remember you see that fire song on LimeWire and it'd be like the biggest mix. You thought it was gonna be great. You download it and then the first thing you hear is, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, bro. You be like, fuck. That was the first time you ever really got Rick Roll, when you downloaded the song on
Right.
on LimeWire and Bill Clinton started talking.
Oh my
What's
bad.
even crazier, right? So like you talking about like one song, right? Downloading one song on LimeWire or Napster. It's like maybe what, 7 megabytes, but we're on dial-up internet. So if I want to download a song, I go make a sandwich. I might come back in an hour or two. I finally got my song. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so slow. People don't understand. Nowadays, you download 80 gigs in like an hour or two. Like, it's crazy. You know, the differences in speed and what you could accomplish over the internet.
Right. Real quick. Analog Emma, I appreciate you for the raid. Hope the stream was dope. How are you doing? We got some dope folks here today. Yeah, so welcome in. I appreciate you for coming through while we got all these dope content creators here talking about some retro. How you feeling today? And everybody coming in, right, real quick. Let us know what's one of your favorite retro games or retro TV shows. We're kind of talking about right now just other retro things that we liked as a kid. That's the topic right now. So feel free to jump in it. But again, I appreciate you. And everybody on the screen, say hi to the Raiders and introduce yourself real quick.
I guess we can do clockwise again. Yo, welcome in, Raiders. I'm the president of the War, variety streamer. Happy to be here.
I'm Joe, another retro variety streamer, chilling with the homies out here.
Steve or Coggy, another variety streamer. Thanks for having me.
Hey, what's up? My name is Glint. I'm actually Blue's neighbor, so that's why I'm here.
Just opens the door behind you and he's like, stop it.
I don't know if I don't got my Reptar shirt on, right? But yeah, I know we was talking about just those cartoons. I saw somebody say they was more of a Cartoon Network kid. So if we do well, not versus, but what would y'all pick first? And I'm gonna put 3 here. Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, or Disney. One gotta go.
Oh,
Disney's gotta go.
Disney would have to go.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't. That's tough.
Come on, man. You got
I'm getting rid of Disney for sure, but
why?
Aside from that, all the movies and stuff, like all
And when I say Disney, we talking about the TV show. So we can keep the movies. We can keep the movies. We can keep the movies.
Recess, what?
Yeah. Come on.
Right
Cartoon
on.
I mean, one Saturday morning was fire. Now let's not
fire,
but that's just one Saturday.
Yeah.
Right.
The week was covered by
The week
Cartoon
was covered.
Network and Nickelodeon.
But
yeah.
let's keep it a buck too. At nighttime, Nickelodeon had it on lock on Saturday nights.
True.
Snick was the one.
Nick at Night, dude.
Snick
All
was
that
the one.
night and Snick.
Like, so let's go. So it
I
looked
can
like
name
Disney
so
was
many
easy.
cartoons,
Okay,
man.
so let's
Yeah.
switch it up. Which one you like more? Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, and why?
I gotta say Cartoon Network. I gotta say it because, like, dude, Cartoon Network made Adult Swim. Let's just be real.
And that's cool. I get you. It's not an easy choice. For me, it's easy.
For me, it's easy too. I gotta go Nick.
Yeah.
Because it's just the basis of my like beginnings of cartoons and everything. Cartoon Network came after that for me.
I'm going Nick too because it literally grew up with you. Like,
Yeah.
it had everything. Cartoon Network had it, the cartoons, and then eventually it started having anime and Adult Swim. But like Nickelodeon, just it had so many firsts and so much for me. And then
Fact.
the real TV show, I didn't care about real TV, but Nickelodeon made me care about live action TV. It made me grow up outside of the cartoons, but still enjoy the cartoons. For me,
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I think you hit a nail on the head, right? So for me, if I gotta say, yeah, it's probably Nick for nostalgic purposes, and that was my childhood. But my experience with anime, like, okay, so I saw the original Dragon Ball, right? Like, long time ago, and I did not see another anime until I started seeing anime on Cartoon Network. So for me, it was this situation where I didn't grow out of Nick, but I was watching cartoons, and for me that was all like, I won't say kiddie stuff, but kiddie stuff. And then I started seeing Toonami, right? And I started seeing all these things that are coming on Cartoon Network. I'm like, whoa, this is this is brand new. And I started to gravitate more towards Cartoon Network as I got older. So it was kind of a journey from Nick to Cartoon Network, but I can never discount Nickelodeon for I was a Nick kid. That was me.
I feel that.
Yeah, I was a Nick and WB kid for the
And
longest
See,
time.
you brought that
WB.
up, and I was gonna say when you said the anime thing, I think Cartoon Network may have introduced a lot of folks, but I think we sleep on what Fox Kids and WB did because they were showing a lot of anime, and we just thought they was cartoons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, facts.
And
But
when you were talking about Dragon Ball, I'm pretty sure over here, Dragon Ball Z had started real early before they like cut it off, and then eventually Cartoon Network had got it with like Toonami and all that. But like that's where I remember first seeing like the original VA before the VA that we know today came along. I remember seeing like that first like little bitty bit of the Saiyan arc, and then like not seeing anything else ever again after that. And it was funny enough because my dad, he would be up at like all these odd hours of the night, or like early crack of the dawn, morning, the guy, and that's how I caught a lot of this random nonsense. It'd be like a Sunday at like 7 a.m. or something like that. Why are you up? Like, I'm supposed to be up. I'm the kid.
just
And
watching
that's
Dragon
how
Ball
like
Z.
I'll catch all these random things, or like wrestling and whatnot. It was all because of him. And that was Nickelodeon, and that was WB for a long time. But then as like early 2000s came along, I got to see a little bit more Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, like the stuff that we got in the States right off rip. Samurai Pizza Cats actually in the 90s. That was another one. You get home early enough beforehand, that and Mega Man.
so I tweeted yesterday, like a lot of folks don't remember that this might have been one of your first anime and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
Speed Racer.
Facts.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Like Speed Racer was, and you could tell by the dub that it was definitely not from over here.
I can make this turn.
You got a question too, Blue. From,
I got it.
All right.
I appreciate you. If let me see, might just start pinning them, but I'm gonna copy and paste. If I lose track of them, I'm gonna copy and paste them over so I can answer them. But let's go answer that question for everybody here. What program or actor that you love from your childhood did you have to give up because it turns out they were problematic? And what age were you when it happened, and how did you feel?
Oh,
Man, I gotta think about that one because it's
Yeah, me too. Cause I don't remember like hearing much about it when I was younger, but
Yeah.
I remember like hearing my parents talk
Oh.
about the things like celebrities were going through as a kid, and it didn't really apply. I think I was grown when I actually started to like notice and really take interest and care too much.
Yeah.
No,
I was gonna say
something on
something.
something on my brain. I can't think of it right now. It's a couple of things. Maybe y'all
I was
might help
gonna
me.
say, now that I've thought about it, it's actually I think easy. I think the well, I don't know necessarily this is the first, but certainly the most impactful. Bill Cosby. Like from my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once all that began to form up, it was like, damn, like Bill Cosby was
Oh yeah.
the prototypical, like, strong black man doing, things for the community, like, having a great show. And you hear all these things, it's just like, wow. Like
I'm with
the phrase never meet your heroes, or you just never know, who
That's very
just
true.
idolize people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's maybe not the first, but definitely one of the most impactful.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go to music, and y'all know who I'm about to bring up, Robert. So I actually stopped a long time because I heard about all of that stuff because I don't know how my mama knew, but I guess it was like the talk around it. So I feel like people did know, but it kind of made me like, that's kind of weird. He was because the first thing I ever heard was he was married to Aaliyah. And I was like, ain't she like okay?
Yeah.
So that was one thing.
Yeah.
And then a lot
Michael
of them
Jackson
shows
too, actually. Now that you bring it up,
Oh yeah.
he had a lot going on that you would see as a teenager.
What was the other one? This TV in general, like TV was different. Like a lot of stuff you get away with that they got away with back then, you just can't do it today. Like what was one of them? It was a show. Was it Married with Children? It was one of them. Some of them actors would not get away with some of the stuff they did then that they would now. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Just
90s
hearing
for
about
sure.
the Nickelodeon controversy kind of hurt a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hearing
with-
about that dude and how crazy he was,
Dan
and
Snyder,
what
bro.
those people
Yep.
Yeah.
allowed, and it hurt a lot. I'm like, bro, like you have a chance to be a role model, and you know whether you
Help
ask
us,
for it or not, you have a lot of kids under your care, and to take advantage of so many people.
Ironically, I
That
was just watching about old girl that played. Some of y'all might not have watched this one, but Zoe 101.
Mhm.
She kind of talked about how Jamie Lynn Spears and Britney Spears was bullying everybody.
I saw that.
mm.
And Zoe 101 was good, but dance like, do y'all realize how many of the shows from Nickelodeon that man
name
was
is
the
everywhere.
reason? Like all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Kenny and
Yeah,
Kill.
bro.
All that
Yeah.
was the one that hurt because I was like, oh man.
Right.
I think what hurts more.
And funny
too-
enough, Amanda. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying what hurts more too is like, it's not just like him,
The whole
right? Like
Mhm.
the behaviors
Right.
enabled
Those
by
people,
like
yeah.
the people who are in power of that.
Right.
Like, that
Them kids weren't
situation, and that's,
protected.
Like, yeah, who's gonna protect these kids? Yeah.
so like that's
I think,
I was just gonna say. I think it was Amanda Bynes that had just made headlines recently for.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
she actually called the police on herself. You know, being found out,
Mhm.
and you know, it makes you think back to like how impactful that situation was and how it still affects people to this day. And if you think about it, right, like, you know, not to somber up the conversation a lot, but there's so many things back from like the 80s, 90s that were problematic, not even just from necessarily from like people's behavior standpoint, but even when you go back and watch certain shows or certain animes, and it's just like, oof, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
look at the depiction of certain people or the actions of certain people, especially towards like women. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, back then, you know,
Bad.
these were unfortunately societally acceptable things, and you know, definitely not something that you would see in this day and age. But yeah, it makes some watches a little rough.
look.
from
I
time
can't
to time.
watch Rurouni Kenshin no more. I used to love that, but I don't know if y'all know about the creator. Whole pedo. Like
It
What
hurt.
is it called?
Rurouni
Rurouni
Kenshin.
Kenshin.
Oh, no.
The Bato side of the Manslayer. Dude, that shit. Yeah.
But
that
yeah,
one hurt a
Dan
lot.
Snyder is the reason. Like, we're gonna keep it a buck. Nickelodeon thrived because of him.
100%.
Like, and the first that was his first show. I think it might have been some before that,
Mhm.
but
I'm sure
all
he was like involved, writing before he was directing.
yeah, but those were
Right.
all that. The Amanda Show, Kenan and
Yeah.
Kel, Drake and Josh, iCarly. I think he didn't get fired until 2019, 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. When that stuff
Insanity.
started like popping up on like YouTubers were really going in on like trying to find every little bit of dirt on him, and eventually
It came out,
it took long, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna find it if you look hard
but
enough.
Yeah.
we gonna talk about TV shows. Let's bring it back lighter real quick. What was y'all favorite sitcom growing up?
I didn't really
Fresh
have
Prince.
one like growing up. Oh,
Now I'm
yeah.
gonna fight you. Now it gotta be one you like, one specific that you like.
I'm trying to think because like the only thing that I was really big into cartoons and anime growing up, and like I saw Boy Meets World and shit, and like that was cool.
Look,
but, like,
look,
it wasn't
Yeah.
really as
TGIF
invested
was
in it,
fire.
Hell yeah.
It's not until
It's a
actually
rare
now, like, where I've gone back
condition.
and watched
Oh, that's
stuff.
why. Okay, because you got a whole Family Matters is fire.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm like,
Topanga, my Topanga.
Topanga's still fine, bro.
can I admit something without being judged here?
Of course.
Yeah, we're not gonna judge.
I did
Much.
not watch a single episode of Boys Meet World.
What camera your camera
until I
is?
found out about
Nah,
today.
that ain't it. There we go. All right, cool.
And that's okay. You found out about one of the most important parts.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you.
You good.
'Cause,
Kimberly, my Kimberly. What we talking about?
Boy Meets World was cool. It was ahead of its time in a sense. Cause they harped on some real things in it. The same with, I mean, Family Matters. Eventually, it went from serious to the Steve Urkel show. I mean, we still liked it, step by step, day by day. But
Yes, sir.
Full House. I know. I see a lot of Martin.
Yeah. Full House.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Martin,
Who else,
wow.
man?
Fresh Prince forever gonna be my favorite though. Like
I'm
Fresh Prince was
Same,
it.
same.
that was the one.
The Will Smith show. I'll take the heat for it. I don't care.
That's what it was.
It was.
That's what it was.
I'm the odd one for this one, and anytime I mention it, I don't think a lot of people remember
camera.
or just block it out. But hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh my no! Hanging
no,
with the Mr. Cooper. What? What you mean? Raven Simone?
If I could
like,
push
what?
my
It was
screens
a
back
good
right
show.
now.
Oh, Golden Girl. Look, Dana said Golden Girls. Golden Girls is goated. I don't care what nobody say. But hanging with the Mr. Cooper. Look, you a real one. You a real one for that. Man, now I gotta go find a I'm hanging with Mr.
On
Cooper
Fox.
video.
That was a good show, bro.
Who remember In the House?
Yeah, I remember.
I remember it. I didn't watch it back then.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper was cool. Like
Facts.
seeing him, like he was a basketball coach, right? Was
Malcolm and Eddie is a good one.
Malcolm and Eddie. Jeez.
Dang.
Shout out to UPN.
I think the 90s sitcoms, 90s mid 2000s undefeated, but like
Facts.
they had their problems at times, but a lot of it was they handled things right. They handled a lot of situations.
You know what?
New York
Single.
Undercover.
Oh man.
I
I be
my God.
y'all know
All
I watch the reruns on FX like now. Like
So New York Undercover, right? You know, I'm an insomniac. I've been an insomniac since I was like 14. So New York Undercover was basically my entertainment. When everybody else is asleep and I'm staring at the walls, I'm like, hey, I should be sleeping.
that jazz
tonight.
music started playing.
That
boy.
jazz- that little scene where he's running through the street. Like, yeah.
Then when the show first come on, they got the music montage. You like, who about to die? Cause you know that's what they do at the beginning of every episode. They got that music playing. The little dog. The cinematography for that show is amazing, bro. Like,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
man, that
Y'all
show's
heard
so
about
good.
the controversy between Living Single and Friends?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of why I like Friends
Yeah.
was good, but I just don't. I can't like it. Like
I can't watch it.
I can't do it. Just knowing that living single is Friends is living single, but with white people.
Yes.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
like the same concept, same play. I'm like, it's smart, get your money. That's business. But living single deserves its fucking flowers, and they don't get them.
Facts.
Give me Khadijah. Look,
Fox really used to go in with with the sitcoms.
What was the who watched the Ally McBeal show?
I ain't never watched that.
No.
And I caught The Wire late.
Ooh, The Wire,
Same.
bro. Oh, The Wire.
It wasn't.
It was something else on Fox. Y'all remember that show where it was like all the kids was by themselves? Was it Party of Five?
Is that what that was?
It was like
Jennifer
their
Love
parents
Hewitt.
had died, so the older kids had to take care of the younger kids.
Yeah, I think that was that show.
I think the girl from like
Yeah,
Scream
like-
was in it.
Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yeah. Don't ask me why I remember. Mm.
I mean,
Nah, we know.
we all
We
remember
know.
Jennifer Love Hewitt
Oh,
now.
I would like to know why you remember.
No, why you remember though?
We gonna call it the Topanga effect. You good?
F it. Let's go there. Let's go there before we get back into games. Let's go there. Who were y'all crushes growing up? I heard
my
Glenn say
God.
about
I
8 of
said
them
two.
already. Yeah,
Maybe G.
Topanga and Kimberly off the bat.
Topanga and
OG Pink Ranger.
Right.
Topanga's
Oh,
still
man.
fine, bro.
What's funny is
She
this
is.
kind of ties back into Thick's previous question. So one of my previous crushes used to be Stacey Dash. That's definitely somebody I fell way out of love with as an adult.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer, cause baby, who is she?
Ooh.
Y'all remember that
Man.
All Falls Down video?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Clueless.
My have the mighty fallen, bro. Oh my god.
So yeah, I kind of put her like I love her from Clueless, and then I stopped
Yeah.
there.
Right.
Nah, I saw her on In the House. You remember LL Cool J In the House? She was on there.
I remember that.
And then that Kanye West video was the next time I saw it, and I was like, damn, I still like Stacey Dash. Cousin
Did
Skeeter.
y'all watch In Living Color?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the first shows that had
So-
premier talent come on and sing.
So, fun fact, I saw somebody say Raven Simone. So, we had something a long time ago called Art Break. Have any of y'all ever had that in school? It was like we all did our art and stuff. It was like all the kids in all the school from around the city did their art, and then they displayed it like in the municipal, whatever you want to call it, downtown.
I do remember that.
That sounds
So
dope
Raven
as hell.
Simone performed at that when I was in like 3rd grade, and she came down and danced with your boy.
Oh, for real?
Nice.
That shit was wild. I always forget. I'll not forget. I will never forget that. It was like this random as hell. Raven Simone here, and then she came in here with her microphone shoes and that thing. Like, what's up? Yeah, I'm 8 years old. Like, yeah, this is my life. But
Blue's like, I'm dope and I do dope shit.
I do dumb shit, damn it. That was kind of cool. But Megan Good, yes.
Oh yeah.
Can I get my chili Fritos? I hate him.
Lisa, Say About the Bell, Alexis
I feel
Field.
like everybody fell in love
Kelly?
with Megan Good at the same time. What was
Same
that
time.
magazine where she had the
No, exactly
she had
what
the
you're talking
outfit on, but it was made of like it was made of like a potato bag or some shit like that.
about. What?
Um,
What?
Hold on, let me. It was either XXL or what was the other big
Source?
black publication? Source. It was either Source or XXL.
I was like, Blue, you might want
Yeah.
to be careful with that. Search.
Oh, you can y'all can see it.
I don't know.
Y'all can see it. They can't see it. They can't see it. I'm just looking for it. I gotta see it for me, you know,
Stupid.
Yo,
for research.
Right there, right there.
You ain't
King.
King.
magazine.
Right here. Oh yeah, I remember that. We can
You
show
ain't
that.
supposed to tell the business now.
We can show that. We can show
No,
that.
everybody, I think,
Yes.
at the same time.
Hey, I'm
saw
about to go
that
buy that
cover
on
and was
Amazon. But right now,
Put it on your wish list.
hold on.
Fancy.
Wait, I remember that cover. Hold up.
Like you know it's real. Yeah,
That's
go.
like, that was like when your mom finished shopping early. and
Oh,
she's like,
wrong
what are you
button.
looking at? And you're like, what
Hold
are you doing?
Oh God.
Bruh.
Oh
No joke, dude.
50
Nah,
cents
I was
video
looking at the
wifey.
Nintendo Power.
Sean Paul. Yeah, this
Yeah.
this Nintendo Power. Yeah. Hold on.
Nintendo Power
Hold on.
wrapping around.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Nintendo Power.
Oh, man.
Let's segue to back to
For a person that wear glasses, bro.
yeah. That's what we was looking at. That what we look. That what we look about. You remember how you remember how you used to press back on the TV screen? That's what we just did. You know, your mama up
Oh,
late. You
God.
watching the wrong thing. Last. Got the sound all the way down, bruh. Like, but yeah.
You know what that remind me of? This might, I don't know, like this might be stepping way back in the retro.
We
but
can go back there.
Computer games used to have this function. Well, not all of them, but they used to have this function called the pause button. And the pause button was this thing where, like, if you were playing the game and you were at work and your boss happened to come by, you hit the pause button or the pause key, and it would flip to something that looked like a spreadsheet. This was
That's
a real
crazy.
thing, and they used to implement that in a lot of older games. Literally, it reminded me of
Wow.
that when you did it. I was like, oh shit, let's hit the pause button. Yep, we just Nintendo Power, nothing to see here.
Nothing to
Hell
see.
That
yeah.
used to be in a
That's
lot,
so
like MS
funny.
DOS games, Amiga games. They used to have pause buttons back in the day.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Wow.
You know what's crazy? There's something similar in a more current game. Blue, I think you also played it too on stream. Oh man.
I know what you're talking. You talking about Gun Gal? Was it
Wait, what was it?
Gun Gal? Or-
Gun Gal. Yeah, Gun Gal has it's a button that essentially the same thing, but it changes it to like from like 3D mega horniness to a 2D pixel art NES.
I ain't pay for it. Is what y'all
stylized
know
RPG
that.
screen.
It was on Rainmaker. I was like, this looks interesting. Let's see if they give it to me. They gave it to
Boy
me.
said mega horniness. I'm dead.
No, that's if horny was a game. That's it. Oh, senpai,
right there.
senpai had that. Like, what is going on?
3D.
What is going on?
Got it. All right.
Yeah, 3D mega horniness. Yeah.
But I mean,
This horniness is not enough. We must go to mega.
you must do more, bro. What's good, bro? What's good? What's good? Man said I wasn't horny because I didn't pay for. I didn't know what it was. I thought we was shooting stuff. I thought it was a shooter. You know how gamers in America, we love shooters. It said gun. It said guns and gals. Two things I like. You know,
Something, I
And
guess.
that, ain't nothing more American than guns and gals, right?
More American than guns and gals,
Ain't
yeah.
nothing more American than guns and gals, right? You know.
Yeah.
Don't do
If you really
that.
want to see America, you go to
Don't do that.
HarleyDavidson.com,
You
okay?
damn
No.
right.
Right.
You're goddamn right, motherfucker.
All right. Well, I think we had fun with that retro conversation. We might have to come back one of these days and revisit this because we could have so much to talk about, especially with the TV. But let's get back into the gaming aspect of it. Just wanted to go down memory lane real quick. But for everybody here, like give me 3 games prior to the new generation that represent you as a gamer.
Oh, this is actually so easy for me.
I got 3.
So, yeah,
I'm
my
ready.
3 are also my 3 favorite probably games of all time, which is Super Metroid, Metal Gear Solid, and
Joe
Final Fantasy
mad.
Tactics.
Joe love it.
And
Bangers.
all 3 of those represent not only just my favorite games, but the variety of things that impacted me throughout the years. Super Metroid expanded not just for me, but I think for an entire generation, what it was like to play an adventure game and have a game that literally had, you know, like the first 3 minutes of Super Metroid have dialogue, and everything else after that is just you and exploring this place and figuring things out. And it tells this whole story without really saying a word. And of course now Super Metroid and of course Castlevania have their own genre of Metroidvania. You see games to this day still in the Metroidvania category. Metal Gear Solid, you know, completely changed what it was to tell a story in a video game. It's complete cinematic, something that was like a
Snake
an entire
Eater, baby,
movie.
that song. Ooh.
Yeah, oh yeah, talk about it. And then you know, Final Fantasy Tactics, because that represents my love for RPGs. And you know, Blue, you talk about this all the time. Like the Western audiences, you know, found RPGs like kind of later on, but I had a love for RPGs pretty early. And so Tactics is just kind of like my favorite strategy, but like also a great story. You know, the pixel art is great. Just, you know, kind of good all together. So yeah, those 3 games really tell the story of who I am, especially as a retro gamer, but really just as a gamer in general, because those 3 genres still represent what I love to play.
I love Tactics. I think Joe, you got something. I saw you. Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, damn, those
I
are
know
all
one
bangers
of them.
right there.
I know one of them.
For sure, Final Fantasy VI, Link's Awakening, and Resident Evil 2. Just, I mean, I could name any variation of 3, but like right there off the top of my head, those 3 right there. 6 was my introduction to JRPGs, having like a whole fantastical adventure of just like anything that you try to think up of as a kid, and it's like kind of like there. It's got magic, it's got swords, it's got one of the most maniacal villains outside of the Joker that they introduce you to and make you feel some form of sympathy for when you look back and like just like see things deeply rooted and like go deeper into the story of what everything is going on.
So much better than 8.
There you go. That's my jam right there.
Please don't.
No, I won't get into it. I won't start fights. But nah, 6 is just everything, man. That game made every single thing feel important. Link's Awakening is is my personal favorite Zelda. Like that's the one that got me through a very really difficult time as a child, and that's one of the first Zelda games that I beat. Was that one right there. And Resident Evil 2. I mean, yeah, I said Resident Evil 2 as my other one, right?
You did.
Yeah. RE2, that's my first survival horror game. That's the one that got me into like the whole survival horror genre. That game right there, I mean, that speaks for itself. Everything that they had going on was such ahead of its time, and that was like real groundbreaking right there. And it spawned off things like Silent Hill, which is another one that's just like you can keep on going from there.
Yeah, I played 2 remake. It's my favorite. But mine would be Super Mario Brothers 3. It just goes back to like my beginning video game, sitting with my mom, me and her kicking, playing together.
Breaking up a little bit.
Pro Skater. Oh, I'm breaking up. Oh, okay. So yeah, number 1 would be Super Mario Brothers 3. It's just me and my mom by ourselves before I got siblings. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on the Nintendo 64 brought out the competitor in me, and Metal Gear Solid 3. It took my attention away from Call of Duty. I remember buying it from Hollywood Video with my own money and just being captivated with the story.
Bro, Tony Hawk Pro Skater was gas back then.
Bro,
That first soundtrack, man.
Between that and
Tangent.
Rocket Power had me want to be a skater, bro.
Bronze, I swear.
The cultural like music influence for that game alone did
Facts.
so much for
Oh,
yeah.
everybody.
That might be like
me
some
out.
people don't know that I'm a big fan of X Games.
I
Love
used to
them.
love it.
Mhm.
I mean, X-Games mode. Boy.
Oh man.
The X Games mode.
What about you, Conky?
Well, for me, I kind of picked like generational. Like Super Mario 3 was like the game that I played with my dad. Like it was the reason why I could only play video games on the weekends, because me and him would just like, mom would be like, it's dinner time. And then we'd be like, all right. And then like 30 minutes would pass and they'd be like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, we're trying to beat this game right now. Okay. Yeah. And then Majora's Mask.
Ooh.
For N64. That game was that was like one of my most anticipated games, because I'd played Ocarina of Time to like nauseum. And so I wasn't really like, that game was so mysterious, and like how everything was done, and the themes were very mature, and there's this like whole thing about loss and impact, and like,
It
You know, I remember-
ahead of its time.
yeah, ahead of its time. There's a lot of like speaking of anime, like this is an anime game. Like this is the most anime 64 game that like I can think of. Just because it was just cool going through like the different times and then discovering something new every single day, and you know, the stories for each individual character that like in Ocarina of Time you were introduced to everybody, right? But like they were more like, what are you gonna give me? In this one it was like, who are you in this world, and like, can I help you? And I really
Bro.
like that aspect of it.
Ironically, Joe playing this right now.
Yeah, this is my
Hell
first
yeah.
time. It's been a trip.
Oh, it's the first
bud.
run through. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I gotta pull up.
As a
gotta
kid-
pull up.
As a kid, I couldn't. I had to hit the reset button on the third day every time. I was too afraid.
Yeah.
Nah,
Well, it's
And
difficult.
I
Yeah.
understand that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you look at these graphics now and, you know, it's like, all right, you laugh about it. But as a kid back then,
Nah.
especially, you know, yeah, you saw that face? Yeah,
Nah,
Yeah.
that
I'm
moon's
out.
face looking.
That
like me, I'm
moon
like,
was scary as hell, bro.
Yeah.
I'm out.
But let me tell you, look, I don't know how, I'm
and
not
then I
gonna spoil the story, but like her story, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, keeping up with that. I'm excited for you
Bruh.
to just like see the different branches of like where you go, because like that's probably one of the best things about it is like getting to know everybody's routine intimately, and like since you exist outside of the reset, like you are strict, like you know who these people are and what they do, and that degree of separation makes it like intimate for you and makes you like care about these people that like have no awareness as to what's going on, you know, through this whole thing. So it's super cool. And then the final game I picked was Jet Set Radio Future, because
Ooh, not the future. Hold on.
yeah, like I missed out on Jet Grind Radio and Dreamcast. Like I missed out on that time. I was still playing my N64 for a majority of like the PlayStation 2 days.
I feel it.
And yeah, Jet Set Radio Future's music was insane. The graffiti and artwork and like just
It
I don't
ages
know.
well. It ages well. Like it still
Yeah.
looks good today.
yeah, it's phenomenal. Like I cannot wait for Bomb Rush.
Oh, I
Cyberpunk.
cannot wait for Bum
Yeah,
Rush to
it's gonna be
Funk, bro.
so good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I ain't
And you
heard
know
from
that
it, but
they've
it
been,
need to
like,
come out.
They've been sitting on this IP for so long, and I'm like,
Good
you
old
guys,
Sega, bro.
You know,
Shout
Sounds
out,
like they
shout
got-
out to Jet Set Future for being one of the, Jet Ground Radio for being one of the pioneers of cell shading. It was one of
Yeah.
the first that had it.
100%.
Speaking of Sega sitting on stuff, there are rumors that Skies Arcadia coming back. So
I
There-
mean,
there's
they
hope.
need something to bring them back. Like,
there's hope.
yeah, there's
I
a lot of
need parts.
IPs they
That
just
isn't Persona.
weren't taking advantage, you know. So
You know what I've realized recently about Sega too? You know, we talk about these IPs, but Sega as a corporation is making money because of external IPs. Like, you know, Persona is still
Switch-
basically printing
Banger,
money
bro.
for them,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Merging
So,
with
you
Atlas
know,
was a W for them.
it was a
Mm,
super W. So now it's like, yeah, they have these IPs that they aren't, you know, like focusing on, but from a corporate perspective, they don't have a reason to. It sucks, but it's the truth. You know, hopefully, we will see more. I'd love to see. One of my favorites from back in the day was Panzer Dragoon. I really want to
Yeah.
see them.
I
bring
feel
that
like
game back.
I feel like it's a version on the Switch.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
Panzer Dragoon.
I don't know how good it is though.
I was gonna say, like, I think probably the biggest thing that we can I think we can all agree on is like the best part about the retro age, like growing up through this shit, was like everything was so unique and felt like there was like some sort of risk related to it, and because of like, and people complain about the Switch like constantly now because like we need a new one, blah, 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 and hardware limitations, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so without knowing like the past and knowing where we came from, like we're talking about a system that plugs into a dock and then goes onto the TV, or like that technology alone, like when they first showcased it, was mind blowing. But
Right.
The hardware limitations
What's up, Woody?
make developers, in my opinion, like you have to be creative with how you implement this stuff, because the hardware, if the hardware is like all powerful and everything looks good, quote unquote, like realistic graphics, blah blah blah, the ends up for a lot of the time being empty calories. Like there's no substance to a lot of these games with like all these graphics and shit, and there's nothing new being presented. And it's like every time we go back and like, you can't put a game on the original Xbox, PlayStation 2, and 64. No game was like the same at all. Everybody was experimenting and trying to like make something that was just fun.
My bad, bro. What is that? The second. I hate me, bro. I'm sorry. I had to.
What happened?
I tried to correct April 2nd to April 4th to 2nd to 8, but I put second. It's 2 T-A-E.
And
Boy.
you know you got the right
Negative.
people in chat that's going to catch you.
Catch
every
my
time.
ass every time, bro.
Yeah, you wouldn't get away with that at all.
I already knew what time. The tooth. But I agree with you, dog. Like, and because I had to say the games that kind of impacted me. Like, it's some of the same ones, but I'm gonna switch it up. I love Majora's Mask, but Ocarina of Time was like that game that. One thing Zelda always does, and people can't deny it, is that it always changes gaming. Like it always changes what's going on at the time, and everybody fits their games to that. Ocarina of Time was the first game to have a lock-on system. Like you take it all the way back to Super Nintendo days. The first Zelda was the first game to have a battery save. Like
Right.
you go to Breath of the Wild, like it just
Crafting
reset
system.
gaming again, and you
That's a
and power.
wow, bro.
It's technically a Wii U game, like power, like.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
I forget that it came out on Wii U too. Yeah.
I'm almost sure Tears of the Kingdom was gonna do it again. Like, so
Man, I can't wait.
the
Yeah.
franchises that really impacted me, like Zelda for one, Ocarina of Time, like it was just that was the first big adventure outside of the OG Zelda, where I really was like on a grand adventure to save the world. And like Link was doing this thing, and Wind Waker's my favorite, but that game just changed so much. And then I got to throw Pokemon in there because that might be a lot of people's first JRPG. A lot of people don't like to count it as a JRPG, but I got you.
That's
A lot of people
mine.
don't like to count that as a JRPG, but it is. It's literally Final Fantasy with extra party members in 1v1s versus everybody fighting at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, and like it's simple, but it can get deeper. That's what she said.
Yeah.
And the other one, I should have been thinking about this. I gotta go Harvest Moon.
I was gonna say, if you don't say Harvest Moon,
And the reason I'm saying it defines me because it changed who I was as a gamer. It made me look into other things. It made me say gaming ain't just shooting stuff. It ain't just Mario jumping on stuff. It ain't just Zelda going on the event, Link going on the adventure. Look at me calling Link Zelda like everybody else do. It's still in
I did
2023.
it twice yesterday.
But like Harvest Moon, which is now called Story of Seasons, y'all. That is the game that you love. If you play Harvest Moon, that is the game that you like, not the one that's still called Harvest Moon. It might be good, the new one, but it just I saw somebody farming, and I'm like, farming? What the fuck? Who want to do that in the video game? I want to do that shit in real life. Then I did it, and then I played. It's like, damn, this relaxing as hell.
Yeah.
I can get married and have a kid. I can date. This I got a mission. Like it was.
I didn't know that was part of the game when I first played Harvest Moon. I stopped playing after the first year, and then my sister started playing the game, and she was still playing it. And I was like, "How are you still playing? This game is short."
That's the thing about it. Like you're living a life.
Right.
And that's the reason that's the reason I play Animal Crossing. Like that's the reason I took a chance. I saw Animal Crossing, like, hell is this? Is this Harvest Moon? Let me play. And now I like Animal Crossing. I never had to touch grass again. I can touch virtual grass for what? Let me plant my look. I can make grass. I can make my own grass to touch.
Let's
in
be
the
frank,
house.
Okay, some people need to touch grass. Okay?
In the house, we know,
Not everybody
right?
needs
You
it.
know,
Right. But
I
I'm
say that. No, go ahead.
no. I
Oh,
want
no, I
my
was gonna
say
say your Pokemon comment was I don't know how many people noticed, but Creatures was Ape Inc. before that, and they worked on the mother games. So it's like if you like all the weird creatures of
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon,
Earthbound, yeah.
Earthbound Zero, like you'll enjoy those.
that's why. You know, one thing about a lot of folks say they're getting less creative with the Pokemon. I feel like they're getting more creative because all of it actually make sense when you. And you got to remember too that most of those names are translated to American names. So when you find the origin of it, they really be in their bag. Some of that shit's stupid though, like ice cream cone.
I was saying,
Yeah.
And the trash cup.
I was one of those people that was saying they were getting.
It's somewhat
stagnant with
stupid.
Pokemon up and until this release. This release, I feel like, all right, they started getting a little creative again, with the designs and the names. But before that, I was like, yeah, y'all running out. Y'all definitely running out.
But so I got another one because I know Miss Tiffany told me to ask this question. Wait. Before I do that, Scope had a question. Do anybody have a favorite retro sports game?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I knew you were gonna say that once you say it. Let me hear what you say.
I know you know mine. 2K with AI all day, every day, every single day.
Yes, sir.
2K1,
Yes,
2K2.
sir.
We can keep going. And I was consistent up until I think probably 15, 16. And the gameplay it changed. It wasn't as good a game anymore. So I had to fall off. But and that takes me back to the day we went and we used to get consoles on Black Friday. So I got my Dreamcast, Black Friday, Circuit City. I got my Nintendo 64, Black Friday, Circuit City. So I got
Circuit
two
City,
brothers.
rest in peace.
Right. So that was a great age for us because we used to play. We had to get more than one controller. It wouldn't last. You got 2-3 boys in one house and our sister. Bro, that we used to go crazy. And me being the oldest, I get bragging rights because I'm destroying everybody in every sport game each and every time until they get that lucky win. And then you pissed off for the rest of the day until you get the controller back. And I was synonymous for, hey, let me get one more turn, bro. I'll give you next time. Let me get one more. I'll get you next time. So that's what it does for me as far as sports and
Not
retro.
ready to rumble.
Love it.
Yeah, we're talking
Love
about
it.
the NBA NFL Street Series. NBA Street Volume 1 and 2 are
Amazing.
Facts.
oh man.
Which one was the one that had Mario and Luigi and Peach and all of
Striker.
those?
3? Was it? You talking about? I think that was Street Volume 3.
Was it Street Volume 3? Whichever one, that was the one I played religiously because of those unlockables.
Like, you
'Cause I
can
don't
play as Mario.
sports like
Wait,
that.
those were on like GameCube or whatever? They had those as available characters?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy. I didn't
Hold
know
on,
that.
now we got to
Yeah.
look at it.
Whichever one had that one, I was on that.
Bro, that shit should be wild. Like the collabs back in the day, and we're gonna get to this, bro. That little generation right in there, and prayers know where I'm going with this. Undefeated.
Yo, I'm actually looking at the screen now. I'm waiting
Yeah,
for these.
I need to see Mario do a fucking
Yeah.
dunk, dude.
Like, look at
Telling
this, bro. Ooh. He got the shaking baby. Get out. Get out.
It's the Hezzy, yo.
The
Mario
Hezzies is nasty. You know Luigi got them hops, bro. What you mean?
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen this in my life.
Hey, somebody got to
don't
run
say
this
about
shit.
Luigi.
Somebody got to run this
Luigi
shit
got
this
the-
week.
Dead, bro.
Somebody got to run this week. What's up? Get the what you call that? What is it? What's that thing we use to play?
Parsec.
Yeah, we need to let's run this shit. Ooh, hell your ass, boy.
My man Luigi with the Slam dunk.
Dog.
Right.
Give me that shit, boy.
Wild.
Cookies. Ooh, behind it. Ooh, ooh,
Equivalent
ooh,
of,
ooh,
like,
ooh. Get him out of here. Peach. Show who it is.
She breaking backboards.
I'm dead.
Dunk, and she was like, I cannot
can't.
believe this is
Why is
real.
That's
Yo,
Why is
good
the
for
only one close to,
GameCube,
like,
bro.
character height across everyone else?
Did you see that no look, boy? Ooh, ooh, what a look. Ooh. He said, "What you reaching for? What you reaching for?"
Ouija for the three. No.
I cannot believe it.
Oh,
I'd have been embarrassed,
bruh.
Joe, I would have never known about this had you brought up this conversation.
Oh my god, this is great. I was on this. I rented the hell out of this game every weekend because of this.
I gotta see a
That's
game
crazy.
breaker. I gotta see a game
I'm
breaker.
dead.
Oh man. It's crazy too because you would think this is fake, like someone made a PC
Right.
mod
Yeah, you
of
think
this.
it's
This ain't no
mod.
mod. This is a real ass
This is
game.
real.
Ooh. Back to Papa, you already know. But
Oh.
somebody said King Griffey baseball. That was good.
That was
Oh,
What
fire.
about backyard
NFL
baseball?
Blitz.
Were you guys on backyard
NBA
baseball?
Jam?
Backyard baseball. What was the old boy name that beat us in it every
Pablo.
time?
Pablo was the goat.
Boy Pablo, man. Ooh, get him up. Get him up. Ooh, what? What? Get him out.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
this
This
is the rest
is
of the stream right
crazy.
here. Just
Bro,
watch it.
what?
Bruh, we ain't got to talk about it. We can just watch it because this is nasty.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it.
This is
the best
beyond
version.
nasty. But yeah,
Back in the day when,
backyard sports was it. I wish they would make that again. It was simple, but it was fun. And Pablo would beat your ass every time. Come on now, Peach. Oh, ooh, ooh.
This is crazy,
He's
dude.
disrespectful
No.
like that. I'm a truck stick
Look
her
at this
ass.
slow motion, dude.
On God, I'm truck sticking her every time she do that shit to me, bro.
I need to see the game breaker.
Oh man.
Ooh, boy. Ooh.
Drop your ass.
Dog. Peach is disrespectful, bro.
Please,
Oh,
let
it's
me see
time.
this game breaker.
It's
Let me see
time.
the game breaker, dude.
No, they're really waiting for the last second.
Who are they gonna game
Right.
breaker?
Look at Luigi. He
I'm
lost.
waiting with bated breath.
Oh, you
dude.
blocked that?
Oh.
Oh, nah, you know who you gotta get the ball to.
This
What you gonna do,
actually- I
Mario?
got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Game console exclusive like content. Like what was yours? Because like they had all these collabs, right? Like I think Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur
with,
2.
like,
Yeah,
the
Soul
different
Calibur,
versions and whatnot.
On 360 specifically, like having Spawn on there was sick. I
That
was
was
all
crazy
about Spawn.
too.
I'm looking for the.
I agree.
Seeing
I think
Link, I was so bummed I didn't have a GameCube because when I saw Link in the exclusive for GameCube, I was like, I need this. But
So I just got mine last
Megaton
year.
Hammer.
I felt the same. Like I had Xbox, so I had Spawn. I was like, yo, this is dope. And it was like, yo, Link is on GameCube. I'm like, what? Damn. And then
That's
it's like,
crazy.
Darth Vader.
yeah,
I'm like,
on
what?
PS2. Yeah.
Yeah, on PS2, and I'm like, all right, maybe I need all of these. Like every game.
It was smart,
had
though.
this character.
Yeah, it was
Very
smart.
It's really
yeah.
smart.
That's
marketing.
that's why I be laughing at folks right now about they trying to take stuff from us, making stuff exclusive. Exclusives are bad, bitch. Exclusives been around since gaming. Like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Real
don't.
quick, before we completely shift from the sports conversation, one retro game that I miss, ESPN NFL 2K5. And if you are a football fanatic, you probably already know about this game. You probably heard about this game. But Madden for years, and I mean years beyond the 2005 release of NFL 2K, could not match
Couldn't.
the gameplay that you can
At
find
all.
on
At
ESPN.
all.
Even to this, if you could pick up that game today, now graphically, no, it's not going to hold up at this point, right? But the running game, like there's something visceral about running in football that is hard to emulate in a video game.
Fact.
And
They had the jukes and
2K5
everything.
Got it. They got it. Like the little idiosyncrasies of like somebody touching you, you don't necessarily go down, but it slows you down a little bit. You see that little flicker as you get through the line. Like they did that back then, and it was mind blowing then, and it's still, to this day you look back and it's like, man, they really put a lot of effort into that game. you
Right.
know, of course, for everybody that knows, you know, EA eventually bought out, you know,
Got that
an
contract. That was
exclusive
the worst
license,
thing that
so-
could happen to football games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this, you know, being from somebody who used to work for EA, like it was terrible because what ended up happening was, I can talk about this now. What ended up happening was
NDA
um,
expired, right?
Madden basically became the Tesco for NCAA. So all the new shit that they wanted to implement, they would just put it in Madden because they knew people were going to buy Madden no matter what.
No
And
matter.
then whatever people didn't like or it didn't work good or it was buggy or whatever, they take that out or they refine it. And then they put that into NCAA. And that's why the college game was always the superior
I
game.
used to love me some NCAA football, bro.
Yeah,
Same.
same. So yeah, it's like, you know, it sucks that because you know that would be one example of exclusivity not being great, right?
Oh yeah, nice.
Definitely-
Yeah, that was
definitely
trash.
competition in that. But yeah, NFL 2K5 still my darling sports game. But light shout out to Fight Night Round 4, which to me
Yes.
was like one of the best
Ooh,
boxing
fight-
games
ooh,
ever.
Fight
Night
Night.
was serious.
Fight Night, bro.
That was so good.
Back then, sports games had all the reason to be the only thing that you played. I mean, like I get why it was.
Right.
Now, not so much. They
Right.
getting better. I know they getting a little bit better, but back then it was like it was bragging rights. It was being able to play as your favorite folks, but it just after
Facts.
every year it just kept what you changing. We're gonna add QB vision. We're gonna put a cone here.
Right.
We're gonna take
Yeah.
it away. 4 years later, we're gonna bring it back like it's new. Like that's what they started doing
Yeah.
over and over again. But I mean, that's one thing the Dreamcast had on a lot of folks. That the 2K sports, bro.
Yeah, that's a good point, Prez. That's a really good point. Really good point.
Fight Night would have people actually would.
But it really
I-
made
I-
you feel like he was in the game for real, for real.
Right.
Just out of
right.
curiosity too, like for you, I wasn't a big sports person growing up at all. Like I wasn't like a fan. I liked watching sports, but I was never like a fan for a specific team or anything. Just because I just didn't, I didn't really have that degree of like intimacy with sports. But gaming
Sure.
was like my way of participating in that.
Right.
And during the 360 era with like NCAA, I played a lot of that because you could make your own character, and I was like, that's cool.
I love that Road to Glory mode. Ooh.
And then
wee.
I found myself playing a game that I never thought I would ever play, and it was the PGA Tour game.
They actually good.
Yeah,
They're
because
great.
I was like,
Yeah.
you could spin the ball using like the white and black buttons on like the
Right.
Xbox controller, and I was like, that's so smart. Like you could just like, and then it made you feel like a pro. And I was like, why
Yeah.
do I care so much about golf? Like I've never cared about golf before this, dude. It's
So Tiff, to
Crazy,
answer your
man.
question, I know a lot of us had different answers, but when you say how old does a game have to be considered retro, for me, like of course you got everything that's under the PS3, Xbox 360, PS2, stuff like that. But for me, it's like if I can't buy it physical retail anymore, it costs an arm and leg to get. It's something hard, like it's retro at that point. And
Yeah.
I give it at least a bunch of years have to gone by. So I mean, 3DS came out 2011. That shit up there now for me. That's retro now.
It is.
Damn.
But like
Oh.
they shut the shop
hurts
down.
me-
You
it
can't
hurts
buy
me when
nothing.
you say that, but I'm okay with it.
Like
Oh, real. That's real.
you see what I'm saying? Like we know that the older like Atari, that's at that point that shit's what you call what's the other
That's
word? Not
ancient.
retro. That's ancient. That's antique.
Antique.
That's antique at that point.
Oh,
The
man.
90s, that's antique. But
I'm about to throw up. I think
Yeah.
I'm about
since
to
Tiff
throw
here,
up.
Tiff had gave me a question I wanted to answer too. Is since we've been streaming retro games or new retro games. If you have to give someone a new retro game to try out or a new retro game to stream, which one would y'all pick and why?
I feel like that's such a hard question because like
'Cause you gotta know the
I have
person,
more- yeah,
too.
I've got like more like the thing that comes to me is like if you are like new to gaming or if you've been playing video games for a while, I would probably want to ask you like what games do you play now or what do you enjoy, and then make recommendations based off that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, cause y'all suggest
Alright.
stuff for me to play all the time, so it's.
I'm
'cause
always suggest
I
my
think y'all
favorite
know
stuff,
Oh, okay.
but
All right.
I also know what y'all play, and if it really is going to depend on who it is that's asking.
Yeah,
But also,
yeah,
it's also for me. It's I want you to experience this game because it's one of the greats. And if you haven't played this, I need to see what you think about it and how you feel. So, but also,
I'm about to play Shaq Fu.
you gotta go.
Oh, God.
Hold on, where your camera at?
You gotta go.
That
That game gotta
remake of
go.
Shaq Fu though. Hold
Alright.
up,
We good.
that's a really good one.
And you can go to. Hold on, real quick.
No, the remake of Shaq Fu. Hold on, and then the DLC for Obama Fu, that. Hold up. No, that game was hard as shit, but it was a really good.
Colbert, how you feel about Shaq Fu
DLC
remake?
for Obama Fu?
Shram, how you
Yeah,
feeling,
there
bro?
was- Yeah, there was a DLC like a few months afterwards.
All right, bro.
Yes, sir.
So ridiculous.
See?
It's
You have
absurd.
piqued my interest.
So I took some
Oh,
time to think
shit.
about this, right? So if I was going to say, all right, I want to introduce you to retro game, like you've never played anything from back in the day, I think about what kind of experience can you pretty much, I mean, you maybe can get, but not really usually get in today's gaming that you would have gotten in retro gaming. And one of the things that fell, I think, out of favor, not I mean, you know, there are games that are out there, mostly indies, but platformers kind of dominated retro gaming, especially in the 90s, right? So in that, I'd probably say
The Lion King?
I'm gonna start you at Super Mario World, right? I think, you know, that's gonna be
Great.
like the biggest, grandest adventure that also represents like the core of
You not.
what retro
don't work.
gaming is.
It's
And then
off.
kind of go from there. Like, you know, from there it's like, all right, now what type of games do you like? And we can find you know, different games that you might like. But I think Super Mario World will probably be like the first game. Plus, like, again, like what Nintendo has to be like one of the best companies ever for like
Period.
launch titles. Imagine that. The
Yeah.
game
that's
you
true.
launch your system with is Super Mario World. Then you follow that up with Super Mario 64. But you know, I'm just saying, like, yeah, Super Mario World would definitely be the one.
I'm with Blue. I'm going for the jugular. We getting you Lion King. Your retro.
I'm about to make you stop playing this shit now.
Where's my camera?
I don't give
I
a
hate-
shit.
I hate-
start off with
if
the-
I gotta go through it, you gotta go through it. I gotta
I
humble
don't
you
give a
first
damn.
before you get in here.
You make somebody quit gaming from.
Right. Retro gaming started and ended with one game.
That would have been the last game.
The
I
last
played
game you ever
ever,
played in
right?
your life, bro. Don't ever touch that shit. I know you love Simba.
Damn.
That ain't it.
Next retro race, we bringing it back.
No. Speaking of retro race tomorrow, what y'all doing?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh wait, which one?
Shredder Turtles in Time?
No, we doing Turtles in Time.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
What time?
Nice.
'Cause I forgot.
8:00 p.m. EST.
All right, cool.
Hell yeah.
Mine gonna be Ocarina of Time. Just off strength of me seeing other people try it for the first time. I know that it could I know that game has something that can be magical for some folks, and like
You're not wrong. Yeah.
like seeing Kim play it for the first. That shit's funny, frustrating, but funny. But like people that don't know the lore, like you want to know more about these people, and then you were talking about Majora's Mask. It's gonna get you into other stuff. Now you're gonna you got a whole new series you like. I would definitely say that because you already said Super Mario. That's easy. I saw somebody say Sonic too. It really depends on what you like, and like say you like scary, for instance. I'm not gonna say this one because Joe might say this one, but I'm gonna say go back to GameCube if you can and play Eternal Dark.
Yeah.
That shit, wow.
That shit is
That game
it's
is
a
wild.
mind fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
no spoilers, okay?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh no. Yeah,
All
you
I'm
good.
Spoiler alert: your mind will be fucked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you gonna get from me.
Yeah, that game
I
messed
You
me
can
up as a
experience
kid.
Everything I experienced.
Just making me anime gasp the whole time.
Oh, you gonna be
As,
doing,
as a kid, I would enjoy it.
as a kid, this shit had me scared.
Yeah. But that's all I'm gonna say. When you playing it?
Ooh,
Probably soon. I have it on original Xbox.
Oh, okay.
all right,
Um,
all right, Joe.
I just got to be in that
I
retro.
think I
mood.
played. I think I played about 6 months ago. I think it's pretty.
I'm missing
fire.
out on so many games, especially being a Sega PlayStation kid.
I'm thinking like I'm trying to think about like what's the most accessible like game like retro wise and like Super
No.
Mario World I think is like probably I agree with Prez on that one. That was
Yeah.
Get
It's
to the
simple. It's
Switch.
straightforward. It's straightforward.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this is you know what you're doing. There's no like question about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there is a magicalness that can be found within like old platformers too. Like I know everybody loves Super Mario 64 as a platformer, but I think Banjo-Kazooie is probably like one of the best
It is.
like platformers on retro consoles. And if you're trying to get into like, if you want to understand 3D platforming at its best, like I think when I say it at its best, it's not the platforming and game mechanics
It's
alone.
the
It's also
full
like
package.
yeah, the characters and like the level exploration and like all that other stuff that kind of comes with
Not
it.
feeling like a
So,
chore,
yeah,
but still wanting to
exactly.
collect everything.
Yeah, not like DK64. No shade to
I was
anybody who
about to
likes
say
that
that.
game.
I
but,
love
like, that game
DK64,
is-
but baby, oh my
yeah,
god.
that game
Oh,
hurts
man.
you deeply. Like it requires 100% completion for somebody who's like new to game. Like imagine like giving them that. That's how you go right for the jugular for like people looking for platformers. Yeah, DK64 is
Man.
really great for that.
Would you say it's a fair statement to say Banjo is to Super Mario 64 what Perfect Dark is
Yes.
to GoldenEye?
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Perfect Dark
You
is
can't
so
really
much
fuck
the
with
better game.
007's music.
No, no,
because
at all.
that is
My
you know,
P9,
amazing. Yeah.
bruh.
Yeah, that's that. But
PP7,
yeah, Perfect
bro.
Dark is just a better like shooter experience in general.
I was gonna go PS2 with Silent Hill 2, but I feel like that's not an obtainable game to get. So
Damn sure ain't.
It's
$500.
obtainable if you use a computer.
that is
Alright.
very
Super
true.
Metroid.
Hey,
I gotta
we
go.
Love it. We
Super
love it.
Metroid.
I love it.
Man, I love that
Freddy
cartridge.
Exploration.
Are we
Man.
bringing out the hardware? Hold on, I'll be back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I
was
had
about
it
to
right
say,
there, so I was like, hold on,
I'ma
let me
stunt
bring
real
it
quick.
over.
You gotta go with this one right here, right here.
Oh no, fuck that. I'm about to be.
lie. Mother
part of
three
it.
of y'all real quick.
quick.
Look, don't make me pick the Dreamcast up back here.
Hold on now. I'm working. Hold on.
Hold on, we doing this? 'Cause hold on.
If you got some, go get it. Go get it.
If you're gonna play it, you're gonna do Conker's Bad
Okay,
Fur Day,
hold
right?
on, hold on.
Oh my god. No, I got
Maybe-
Conker's Pocket Tails, dog. What y'all know about that?
Don't.
Oh, the box.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Let's
sir.
go. Let's go. I love it.
I
Nah.
won't just bring the card.
I love that joke.
What y'all know about what y'all know about this right here?
Hold on,
They were
no.
like, "Yeah, let's go. This is how
I
it
ain't no
starts. Let's
liar,
go.
bro.
Let's
I don't lie.
Ooh,
Let's go.
I don't lie. Talk to me.
What we talking about? What we talking about?
Dude, I played
Oh,
Mischief
I love
Makers
it.
recently.
Wind
and
Waker,
that
hold
game
on.
is Not good.
Y'all got yours at the ready. I gotta like pull out
You
my
feel
phone.
me?
Joe, look at this. Joe, look at this. Look at this right here though.
I was
Me
about
and
to
Cooper
arm
throwing this
sweep
in
my
the
whole
trash.
fucking.
Ooh.
Oh.
This the collector. This the one that had all the Zeldas on it at that time.
That's crazy.
Plus the Wind Waker demo, bro. That's boy. Times. What y'all know about that? Shake. She make it.
Wow.
Y'all don't want to see that.
What I got over here?
I don't know how many people.
Rest my stuff back there.
Blue told me to grab this. He told me to grab this.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, boy, that thunder hit hard. I was like, who is that?
We're ready to step on the dance pad.
Dance.
Oh no, we know. Nah, I'm not in no contest. I know Joe gonna get me like.
Oh yeah, nah, yeah. I'll say we.
Look how small
Yeah,
though this
GameCube
was.
just being that small, yeah.
Look, GameCube was that lunchbox.
Facts.
Oh man.
I mean, it was
That's
it was
it.
good
I'm
time.
done. I'm done.
Not the the OG of the Resident Evil 4, which me and Don talked about this. That game low key did not need a remake, but I'm glad they did it. Still don't need it,
Yeah.
but
Nah, them controls was tight as shit when I
them
played. They needed it.
controls was bad. That was Resident Evil, not
Also,
bad.
the
It was
changes,
just
too, with like the
that was Resident Evil period back then. That's how the controls were.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
there's some elitists though that are like it's
Adding,
not Resident Evil
Lara Croft.
controls.
I ain't gonna lie. The Resident Evil community pissed me off this past weekend. I don't know if y'all heard about the Ada Wong stuff about
No.
them not liking the voice, like harassing the voice.
Yeah, the VA was a choice, but I think it was more on the direction of the person. Like, it wasn't that she was bad. I just don't think they were given good enough direction to like the situation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
ain't no reason for them to get like insulted the way they did. Like that's
Nah,
fine.
it was trash.
Yeah.
I feel like anybody
years
that's
now.
like doing that though, they're not like experienced enough in the space. You know what I mean? Like
They-
the loudest people, I find the most negative and loudest people in gaming space these days, they're either like super elitist for some weird idealized version of gaming that like it's supposed to be perfect and like it'll never be that, but they'll be loud about it, or it's
Right.
like
Yeah.
somebody who's
I
like
don't think it's
so
that bad,
judgmental
honestly.
and out of touch about like what it takes to make a video game.
Facts.
know?
And like you gotta remember that game was probably mostly developed during peak pandemic era. And
Right.
Japan is taking that very, very seriously, even still.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
a lot of that had to have been remote work. Like
Right.
I still
you
don't
can
think
only
like
do
playing
so
it.
much.
I don't think it was that bad. I think it was more to her character because she is supposed to be kind of cold and not caring, don't give a fuck.
Yep.
But I don't know. That's the
There
difference.
were certain scenes that were good, and then
But,
certain scenes
yeah.
that were like, okay, that was.
I think that's the difference
interesting.
between now and back then. When you bring about our experiences at retro and gaming today, like we didn't have the room to get on the internet and go at the people that's working on these games. All these opinions wasn't so forefront to us, so we like you play the
Right.
game. If you didn't like it, you just telling your homies you ain't like it.
Yeah.
Or the reviewer. I feel like reviewers back then were more honest too. Like even if they didn't like the game, they would say it was still good. Versus today, you get something like Forspoken, for instance, like get shitted on before the game even comes out, and now everybody already like, this game sucks. You didn't even play it. I can't tell you.
15-minute YouTube video breaking down exactly every reason you shouldn't buy a game, even though it's like 4 years out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not as simple as like this game is not for me. Like
Yeah.
that could also be the case. We don't need to all collectively like agree that a game is bad because you don't like it. But
Right.
it's because of the social media in general. Like you get into it's not so much an echo chamber, but like people idealize these people who have opinions about video games, or like, you know, there's like a shred of something that they believe, and then they just go all in, and there's no nuance about like how it used to be. Because like I remember before internet, you talk about video games at school or college or whatever, and it's like, no, I didn't play that. Like how what did you like about it? You know,
It's
and
raining.
you have a conversation around it. But now it's just like 240 characters of this game sucks.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, maybe it's just not for you. You know, it's like those the generation of people that grew up with Star Wars, and then the new Star Wars comes out and they're like, I hate this. And I'm like, it's probably not for you, if I had to guess.
That's a
You
lot
know,
of
like-
things too. Like when you go with the
Facts.
remakes and the remasters, like I'm okay with it if the game is very, very old, because it might not be for like people like, oh, but it's not like the old one. Then don't go play the old one, and you can
Yeah,
skip.
you
You
got
can
it.
skip this one.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta play it.
I gotta be the judge of it anyway. I gotta play it to see if I like it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
of course,
Yeah,
of
exactly.
course.
And a lot of people don't do that anymore. And that's the beauty
hard.
of back then.
I do
like-
think this conversation, though, unfortunately, kind of there's this thing. Like I love gaming to death. Y'all know, like it's a core part of me. But there is a subculture of the gaming community as a whole that, you know, people frown upon, and it bubbles up in situations like this. Like I don't care if she had the worst voice acting performance you have ever heard in anything. She doesn't deserve
And that's the
any
point.
of the hassling and things that she received. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's not an isolated incident with her. You've seen this just this nasty subculture of the internet, and people not it's almost like, I hate to say as gamers, right? Because sometimes you'll hear people say like gamers are the most entitled group of people in the world.
That's just
And as
Yeah.
much as I'd be wanting to defend that sometimes, and then it's like, well, fuck.
damn, you proving it right.
Actually,
No,
You're
no.
proving it
proving
right.
you know?
You know, there's other
but
stuff
yeah.
like that too that you'd be like, damn, not me, but shit.
Right.
Like not all
Yeah.
men, okay? Not all
Right,
men.
right,
But,
right. Exactly.
but
That's what I
honestly,
was like,
I
like,
can't blame
now
nobody for saying that shit though. Like, because low key is like, what you doing to prove? Like, every time something happens, it's like, well, damn, they right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Yeah, it's
quiet.
more like-
Mind my-
it's
mind my
I
business.
think like I feel like when it comes down to like the feelings of being offended by it, like I don't want to. Those feelings are valid because
Yeah.
like this is something that's near and dear to you, right? And so like when it's represented so sourly and like so poorly, when gaming is for everybody, like the reason why games are so amazing, like it speaks to multiple facets of like the human experience, right?
Yeah.
But when you have these people who like water that experience down to like, this is bullshit and I demand like absolute perfection, but like they don't even make games or know, like
They didn't even play it half the time.
they don't even play it half the time. They're just like talking.
Yeah.
It's just what is it? What's the word? It's like emotional poison.
Toxic.
You know, like and it's so potent sometimes that like you are affected by it, even though you have a huge degree of separation because you're not aligned with like that toxic shit.
But it get
so
to
weird.
you. It get to you.
Yeah, because you want it to be for everybody. So like when people are like, oh, I'm not having it, like, you know, women in the gaming space in general, like that's a whole nother conversation, but like largely are not welcomed. You know, you see like it's all over TikTok, like how women are treated when they speak up playing Call of Duty or whatever. It's just like we're better than this, and like I really wish, you know, I think one of the big things that we just have to do is like recognize that as like it's not personal, it's strictly them. Like it's just the individuals who are participating in that toxic behavior, and like how do we curb that? And it's like, okay, we just report people in video games and speak up like in the lobbies that we're in when we hear that shit, and hopefully it gives people courage to like talk about it. But I just can't, I don't know how it's like being in the gaming space, especially with all of you guys too. Like again, 8.5 by 11, pretty privileged in the space. All right, like very rarely do I get somebody who's like combative with me, unless it's over text chat and League of Legends.
I'm forever using that.
Oh yeah,
Right.
It's there.
But no, like listen, you are making some super valid statements. Like, you know, at the end of the day, I think in order for things to change, they have to change both at a grassroots level as well as overall, right? So the culture has to be both. Okay, yeah, if you're playing a game and you hear somebody being toxic, yeah, speak up. That is going to help oftentimes, right? Like people don't like to be embarrassed. They, you know, it diverts the attention to give somebody some level of comfort where, you know, maybe, you know, a film in the space, you know, has been getting cursed out the entire time just trying to play a video game, and that one time you speak up, it provides some level of comfort. On the same token though, like speaking about it in as a content creator, as developers, right? Developers in spaces speaking up and, you know, talking about it during their conferences and things like that, that helps too. At the same time, you know, women are also attacked not only in gaming as a you know, participant, but also as a developer and as a creator as well, right? That's another avenue, right? And so, you know, all of that ties into, you know, the toxicity of women just, you know, needing to be treated better by men as a whole, right?
That's true.
But, you know, we can only, you know, when we're talking about this conversation, you know, it's like, okay, what can we do in this space to at least make it more welcoming or safer for women to be able to participate? I mean, I think about like my daughter, right, who is like a heavy gamer, and she, you know, her only experience right now with multiplayer games, like most kids, right, it's Roblox and Minecraft, right? And you know, that's just a bunch of other kids right now. But eventually she's going to get older, right? She's going to want to play different games that are going to expose her to larger audiences, and I do my very best to, you know, kind of educate her and protect her and help her understand like the things that she's going to run into. But I know like it's only gotten progressively worse over time, unfortunately, right? But that doesn't mean that we can't about face, but it definitely is going to require some work and at a base level some change in you know, how we think.
I do think yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say I do think it's gotten worse. I just think that also there are more of us trying to fix it too. Like like this conversation, like there, even though things are getting worse, there's still things getting better. And like you said, it's just gonna require us to speak up more, talk about it more, and just like put our foot down in certain situations.
Facts.
Yeah.
Accountability, that's big. And I know like we were talking about earlier, like going back and seeing things that we kind of had to let go because we found out it was problematic. It's still the same way. Times are changing, and we got to change with them. You gotta change. People are scared of change. People are afraid of what they don't know. When you put both of those together, that's what you create this toxic environment. Women always play a game. They always enjoy the stuff that we enjoyed, but we had a society where folks said oh, that's for boys. That's for this person. That's for this type of person. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. They were always enjoying it, but now when you see something challenging what you were taught and believe, now it's like a problem. You're trying to fight that, fight what you know versus what's reality. Right. And we just got to be more open to listening and trying to help change.
People accountable. Yeah, holding people accountable. I mean, like for individual sake, we all have spaces where we protect women and stuff like that.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Vinny.
I got you. So, individually, I know we all have spaces that protect women and speak up for women. So, it just starts with that, and also calling people out. People need to be called out about what they're doing and handled. That's another big part of it, because some people might see it and they'll dismiss it, but to actually hold somebody accountable is different. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Well, it comes in two stages, especially in the gaming space. Like I like I mentioned before we got started, like I started playing League of Legends recently, and that was the first game report system where like, and I would encourage everybody to do this too. I know it's easy to just hit the report, but that comment box is so important for like filling out specifics. Yeah. And every time in Valorant, in League of Legends, and I think I get it on Apex too. Whenever I run across somebody that's like doing stuff like that, and I get an email confirmation, or the next time I open the browser up and it's like the person you reported, we took action against them. Thank you for keeping our community safe. I'm like, that is like, it's a great feeling, but it's like when you're talking, and I want to go back to what Prez was talking about. Like, I don't necessarily think that it's getting worse. I just think the awareness and the ability to like see this stuff on the internet, especially with TikTok, it's just like, so it's just been here, right?
Like it's just more visible now.
Yeah, so it's like you could have there was a lot of ignorance is bliss back before we even had like TikTok and like social media and like people in the streaming space, development space, like talking about their experiences and doing this. And so it's not to dismiss like the worries of these people who treat women poorly and the they thems. I don't want to forget about trans people in general in this conversation, because that's also a subject of discussion in the gaming space now. With like the Harry Potter game and like all of that other shit. So it's just hard to like, I think it's really hard to decide what you do. And I think that's honestly like where the conversation should be focused on, is like, what can we do as individuals to like contribute to the space? And like we said, like talking about this in this conversation about retro games, super awesome, super valuable. Making sure the people that like are in the spaces that you hear from and get to see their experiences from, like you're propping them up and sharing those experiences, because those are valuable. Because we're just educating each other at that point with retweeting and like reposting videos on TikTok, or even just doing like a short video and talking about that stuff. And then, making sure we're, again, present in the games where it's like super important. Because I want everybody to feel like they can play a game. Like, I know why I play video games. I love exploring these spaces, and I love, the competitiveness in some of this stuff. But like, it's really just about, let's have fun. Like, I want to experience something new. I want to learn. I want to get better at this game. And I want everybody who's like in this space to be thriving and prospering as well.
100%.
Yeah. It got real.
This fucking great.
No, you better go preach now.
Look, this little group was kind of fun. Look, part 2 in. Like, what's up? But nah, you really made some solid points. Let me see if I got it. Before we get ready, because it's about to be 2 hours. I don't want to keep anybody any longer. I can stay on. I bet it's on, but I don't want anybody else.
Bathroom break? I'm down to go longer a little bit.
No, what about anybody else?
Oh yeah, I'm cooling. I ain't got nothing going on.
Because I still got how long I got till WrestleMania start.
More importantly, you feel me?
That's 6, right?
I don't care about no pre-show.
Oh,
so I'm guessing it started at 7 for me. I just want to make sure you good too, Prez.
I just got to get some cleaning done.
I'm good. Yeah.
Because I mean,
the show.
Get on leave.
The show starts at 7. 7 Central or 7 Eastern?
7 Eastern, yeah.
Probably
Wait, 7. Cole, he's telling me 7, so he probably saying Central. So the pre-show started at 7, right?
Nix is like everybody get on League.
Peacock
He
is
said, he
saying
said,
6
he said the
o'clock?
show starts at 7 Central,
Okay.
Yeah.
so 8 Eastern.
So 3 hours.
Nah, that was, bruh, like that was inspiring from everybody. Like, cause we don't hear this a lot, and it ain't just it ain't just black, it ain't just white. We all here together talking about some serious shit, and then putting it in the retro conversation too. But yeah, if y'all gotta go to the restroom real quick, go ahead real quick.
Yeah, can we do bathroom break?
Yeah, let's do a quick bathroom break real quick.
I'm
Cause
gonna just release. I'm gonna just chill.
I'm
You got the
good.
gamer diapers
They
on?
can't see us off.
I'm good.
Man got the gamer diapers on. All right.
Hey, you know what? That's a good investment, boy. You're tired of getting up in the middle of your gaming sessions. Want to be a great streamer? Invest in gamer
sit here.
diapers.
You feel me?
Invest in gaming
Bruh,
diapers.
You know how the
you don't take
runners
showers anyway.
do they thing?
Well, I'll run an ad real quick. And we can just chop it up. Well, I think it's already going. Never mind.
I just ain't know how to
I was gonna
say
say,
it.
well, sub still seeing you.
Are we still
You see
talking?
the
Is it-
red. I was like, yeah, we'll say, yeah, sub still here. But yeah, no, I think it's important. Like, that's why I tell you all the time, like off stream, like anytime you ask me to participate in something, I'm gonna be here because these conversations are always not just productive but organic, and that's the type of dialogue I like to be in, like being able to go from a loose conversation to something that's very light, like what type of TV shows we like, then to something very serious, because I know you can handle that, and you're great as a host and being able to narrate that as well. So
Appreciate you.
yeah, I think spaces like this again remain important. Not a lot of people are necessarily doing that, and at least not actively doing it in a way that we try to bring everybody together like you do. So yeah, I hope we do continue to see that, just
I'm gonna try, bro.
to the to the dialogue that was at hand, like the conversation of protecting marginalized communities needs to continue at all times, so
Facts.
hopefully we just continue to see improvement over time.
It's also always good when you just get folks together, because look, how many times have everybody here been on stream together outside of me?
This is my first time meeting Prez, so I hear that.
And that's
Yeah,
wild.
I usually
I know y'all know each other, but like, I don't think I've ever gotten to do anything with Joe.
Oh yeah.
I played Valorant and stuff with Conky and talked with Conky before, but like the fact that y'all two knew each other through somebody else, and then the fact that I've like low key known y'all almost 4 years, it's kind of wild. Careful now.
what's Joe is kind of crazy because like it was almost out of nowhere. Like I didn't know who you were. I hadn't seen your content, but I don't know what happened. It was like one day you popped up on my Twitter feed, and I'm always interested when I see new people. So I clicked, and we mutuals were like, I think like 80, 90 people. I'm like, oh, who the hell is this?
It's one of those like big world, small world things. It's like I've heard your name mentioned numerous times, and then it wasn't until last month that I finally like actually seen you. I was like, oh, this is this person. Okay. I was like, what? And then I like how like Blue and Spartan too, like they're always doing like these group session type things.
Her
and
birthday
like,
is Spartan, by the way.
bringing people wait, it's Spartan's birthday?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Oh shoot,
Every
happy
day.
birthday. Man,
Oh
I was
shit!
like, wait a minute, his birthday's in June. He's a Gemini. I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
Oh, not you. Hey, Joe got receipts.
I got the receipts.
Joe got receipts.
I've played League of Legends before.
Let me find out he got a file on everybody.
He got he licking it.
I only know because he be saying it. So I was like, wait a minute, hold up, I'm being tricked.
You not? This is birthday.
Oh my god.
Just go along with it.
Nah, but it's always like introducing me to like new people. I'm just like, I like just like chilling out. I don't talk a lot in people's chats. Occasionally I'll be like the blabbermouth, but I just love chilling in there. And I'm very much like, for as loud as I am, I'm very much the quiet dude, just like, oh no, I'm vibing, I'm chilling, this is awesome, and I'll just sit back there. And then one day I'll talk, but I'll have like 50K channel points in the channel. I'll just randomly use those. Like,
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I'm like, you been here this whole time, yeah.
Right,
bro. Like
I've been
sometimes you
working
want
a lot
vibe.
this tax season, so I've seen Conky, Prez. I'm familiar with Blue for a minute, but the one thing I do appreciate is Blue and Cold, because of how like they know how crazy I think and how obsessed I am with certain things. So they always remind me to like go check out this person, go follow this person. So I'm always appreciative of it because like my mind is all over the place. Like they know I juggle like so much. Even they juggle a whole lot, but to have them in my corner to like suggest this person a raid and stuff like that. Like I haven't met Joe much, but I just went on his page, Andromeda, so I'm bound to cross paths with him one day. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and then conversations like this, I get to meet new people all the time.
Look, as far
Which
as
is my
retro
favorite
go,
thing.
I know because as far as retro go, definitely one the like perfect person to talk to about retro or just sit in and experience stuff. Cause like fam got so happy birthday Spartan, what's up, bro?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Do I play the happy birthday song?
Go ahead.
Gotta do it, bro.
Oh, hold on, I got y'all.
Oh, well, he gonna hate us before the next year's over with, bro. But nah, it definitely it's hard for anybody, bro. Like I had put that question up on Twitter. That's some real shit. Like sometimes you might feel a little guilty because you can't be in the chats you want to be in. It is Sunday, so you know it's definitely room to talk about creative stuff because it's technically Sunday. I mean, it's definitely Sunday, but but yeah, like
meeting people IRL. That's been my favorite thing about Twitch now.
I think that's one hard thing that's hard to do on Twitch these days because everybody feel like everybody's trying to either out to get them or to use them, so it's hard. Like it's even hard for me to reach out to folks and be like, "Hey, you want to do this?" But I'm learning who would, or I mean, sometimes you just got, like I said, you just got to shoot your shot. They say no, they say no.
Mm-hmm.
And
You know, I was gonna say I'll level with you on that because like for the longest time, especially as I was like first kind of introducing myself to the Twitch space, right? You know, coming from TikTok over here. There were times where like I was meeting people and people that, you know, either seen me on TikTok before and, you know, they were like, you know, everybody's super friendly and, you know, of course people love space.
Everybody's so friendly.
Yeah.
Everybody's so creative.
I never wanted anybody to feel like, oh, you know, he's trying to, you know, infiltrate this space. You trying to come over here so you can get, you know, my followers, blah, blah. And especially because unfortunately, me being a baby streamer, especially in that time, that's all streamer Twitter was talking about. Was you know, like, you know, followers and, you know, people being sneaky and all that. I'm like, yeah, let me keep my name out of it. So I just kind of stuck to myself and did my thing. And then of course, once I got introduced to you and Cold and Spartan and Be Nice and all that, you know, and I realized like, okay, you know, these are my people. Like, you know what I'm saying? These the homies, you know what I'm saying? I felt comfortable with y'all. And that's when I started to expand the idea of like, you know, just being able to collaborate and stuff like that. But before then I was like, yo, I don't want nobody to say, you know, I did it on their back, basically. You know, I'm getting it over here.
I said it the other day, at this point, fuck them. Like, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna try to do it.
That's really it.
Like, cause people gonna have that narrative like, look, Glenn, you know, like it's folks in they know it's gonna be folks that have a narrative about you. And you could be minding your business, ain't never did nothing to them, help these people, and they still be behind your back saying you doing this and that. So at the end of the day, do what you want, do what you love, especially in this content creation world we in right now. We don't know how long this shit gonna be here, but everything changing. People gonna talk, so give them something to talk about.
Yeah, and then vet somebody for yourself. Like, you meet somebody, you come across them, don't listen to what everybody else got to say. You find out who they are as a person for you. And if they prove, you know, you right or wrong, then you do what you
act accordingly.
Do with that information, right? But yeah, people really will tear you down, treat you like shit, and you definitely gotta roll
say
with
the punch.
At the end of the day, that's it.
I just want to respond in chat. Sam's Life said, "Prayers is your fault. I got stuck with Blue and Cold." Listen, I will happily take that. And introducing you to two of the best communities on Twitch, hands down.
So many people would love for Prez to say, never mind, nah, go say it.
No, wait, what was it? What? Huh?
Wait, what'd you say?
She wants you.
Oh, that was in chat. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. I was like, hold up, what's going on?
Oh, yeah. What you mean by that?
Let me see. Let me see. So again, feel free, because we get back to the retro. Feel free to ask any questions to anybody up here, or If I got anything that's on your mind, it can be whatever. It can be content creation, it can be retro, mainly retro, but it is Sunday, it is a teacher's lounge type thing, and everybody up here got a lot of experience. Hello, welcome in. Appreciate you to follow.
In our pre-talk, we kind of said we were going to go into, we didn't go into the OG console.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was looking at. So when we talk about console wars, I ain't talking about somebody said it earlier, not the fake shit that's going on right now with it's really PlayStation and Xbox. Like, they forget that Nintendo exists, even though Nintendo probably low-key at the top. But back then, there was, what side were you on? You had a controversial console wars between Nintendo and Sega. Shanadi, what's good? And I think that time was very pivotal in gaming because we had a new mascot show up. And everybody know who that mascot is.
Mm-hmm.
And shit changed.
Yep, Tom Nook.
Piece
of shit. That motherfucker still gets on my nerve to this day.
How you feeling, Shanadi? Oh, this man said Tom Nook, bro.
Shit.
Criminal.
I still owe that motherfucker $3 million.
I promise you though, we getting off topic again, but
I'm sorry.
I still will take a Tom Nook deal in real life over what the fuck we gotta do with now.
Hey,
No interest.
Yeah.
Pay as you when you can.
Fair.
Yeah.
And ain't asking for shit else.
I feel like Tom Nook got a hidden violent streak. We just ain't seen.
Oh, he definitely killing. He definitely a crime lord. Somebody, he paying for something somehow.
Ground deals.
You ain't got my
But
bills.
My question to everybody, chat included. Let me make sure the copy outlaw question. When it came to the console wars, how do you feel about it, and what side were you on? If you were on the side, Nintendo versus Sega.
I don't think it was even a question, man. It was Nintendo all the way. The slogan
For
was
me
better.
too, but I think we might have some folks that disagree.
So we do, yeah. I mean, at least for me, there's a split, right? Because as much as I talk about, some of my favorite games being Super Nintendo, I was actually on the Sega side of the console wars in the beginning.
Trader?
I was a Sonic kid, and Sega does what Nintendo don't, like 100%. I was down for that. I was down for the cause.
You know what else what Sega don't? As far as consoles exist.
Oh,
This is true.
It is fact.
Sega does what Nintendo don't. That means
I ain't gonna hold you.
Be successful.
Fly, though. That shit would fly. Bro.
No, it was fly as fuck. It was fly as
I
fuck.
would have asked for sitting at the table like Sega does when Nintendo don't. I would have been like,
that was fun. But hold on.
Right now.
Hold on. Let me where my sounds at. Hold on.
He was in a 3-piece when he said that shit at that conference table.
Say it one more time.
Sega like took off on like
Sega does what Nintendo don't. What?
Right.
Y'all,
right.
Conky got to do it in real time because I ain't got it on. So somebody just redeemed careful now. So go ahead.
Careful now.
Oh my god. That was great.
I got you with the zoom too. Careful now.
Bruh.
Oh god.
Jigglypuff and the stuff. Even though I started Nintendo, overall I would ride with Sega. You rolled to the wheels fell off, huh?
I did too.
Same though.
I ain't mad at it.
I was fortunate that my mom forced my dad to buy both, Super Nintendo, Sega, up until we made the decision to because she was like, which one y'all want? And my mom, she kind of almost strong-armed us and get into getting the GameCube, and we was like, no, we ain't gonna do it.
She got strong arm, bro.
We ain't gonna do it. We was like, we'll get the Dreamcast. We straight.
Yeah.
And
man,
I'm glad I did though, because I was forced to, I was glad to have.
I got hand-me-down, so I got lucky and got everything a console generation later.
Now after that, I had to buy my own shit, so Yes, sir. I see you over there. I see you.
Hold on, since we're doing that again, hold on.
Is it that time again?
I mean, I'm just, what I'm saying? just have to represent my Sega boys. But hey, even though the Dreamcast failed, I still feel. There you go. Just bring out the whole console.
Just
Thank
bring
you.
it all out.
But the Dreamcast did so much
That's a
innovative,
good thing,
especially
too.
for home console multiplayer gaming, right? Like think about
Yeah.
like
Facts.
modem.
And fighting
we were
games,
still
yeah.
gaming on
Yeah.
dial-up.
Great port
You know
machine.
what I'm
Great
saying?
port
Facts.
machine.
You know, it you know, for what it was, the controller layout. You still see that in Xbox controller layout to this day. Just add the analog stick, right?
Mhm.
So there's so many different things that the Dreamcast brought forward that I'm still happy that it existed, even though it failed, and you know, for whatever reason. Of course, you know, we always say usually because it didn't have a DVD player, right?
Nah,
PlayStation 2,
that's
you know,
part of it. But Sega
But-
just broke.
yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
broke. They was managing their money bad, and it just
Facts.
wrong time. Right idea, wrong time.
Wrong
Yeah,
time.
it was
Yeah.
Facts.
very ahead of its time for
Facts.
everything that it was doing.
But if it would have had that DVD player,
Right. Shout out
Yeah.
to Sada Mendes for sending me my first GameCube. That was dope
I
of him.
feel this too. This is, I mean,
Nice.
Microsoft would eventually got into the game, but I feel like if the Dreamcast never failed, would the Xbox really be here right now? As far
I
as
don't
would it be
think
as
so.
popular? I don't think it
Mm.
would be here.
I don't
Like
think so.
that moment
That was, yeah.
was pivotal because
I was gonna
most
say that's the that introduction to the Xbox was like out of left field for me. Was that like was that ramping up like during the end of the Dreamcast existing?
I remember the announcement, but that felt so random to me.
it
too.
was because
Yeah.
Dreamcast pretty much like all the bankruptcy issues. We knew it was going down probably 2000, 2001.
I knew it was
I'd
going
be
down
a-
when all my friends were just burning their games.
That too.
Right, yeah,
Piracy.
that was pretty much what it
Piracy
was.
is also why what killed it.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
like I have my friend got it for like he had it for like a week. My neighbor Michael, I'd go down the street and he had all the consoles. His parents like,
cold.
bought him all that shit.
No, I'm just playing.
And I remember going over there and he had the Dreamcast and he's like, oh man, I got Kahlua or whatever, and then a week later he had a CD binder filled, and I was like, are these all games? He goes, yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, what? How do you
Nah.
do this?
You was about to call NASA, wasn't you? I see.
I was.
I
not
think
fair.
one.
But
No, I was gonna say it. They really got their opportunity when Dreamcast failed, because you saw once Dreamcast messed up, all their games got ported
Right.
directly to
Mhm.
Xbox and GameCube.
Yeah.
yeah,
funny
there's a
'cause,
moment that I remember when the Xbox was announced and people were seeing it, and it was like, all right, now you know Dreamcast is out, so now you've got Xbox, you've got PS2, and you've got GameCube. And I just remember this moment where everybody was like, I don't know who's gonna win this console war, but Xbox got to go. We don't fuck with Microsoft. So
Still don't.
you know,
I mean,
like,
yeah,
everybody
yeah,
was,
yeah.
everybody was pretty much like, all right, so where we going, Nintendo or PS2? And then you had the disenfranchised people who were like riding Sega, you know, till literally till the wheels fall
Oh,
off. It's
baby.
like, all right, where do we go? You know what I'm saying? What are we gonna do?
Why do you
now?
think that was? Did because Microsoft had like a strong arm in a lot of things already? Like they didn't want them to.
It's two sides to it. So I mean, not counting us. When you think about the market in the East, they not fucking with nothing American made.
Mm.
Like I mean, it's amazing that iPhone got over there. But also like you said, like that loyalty. Like okay, PlayStation 1 already came out. We know PlayStation 1 know what they doing. We know Nintendo knows what they're doing now. Xbox, we got these computers. PC gamer, you know how PC gamers were back then. They're gonna bring that whole energy to the console market too.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, I'm not choosing this. That's new. We don't know nothing about it. But at the same time, that also helped them. The Xbox Live,
Right.
Yeah.
Xbox Live was a
Xbox
game
Live
breaker.
was different. Yeah.
Well, even just like having that system, dude, the Xbox, like I remember burning CDs and being able to listen to your own music in games.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Media
driving
Center.
around in like Gotham Racing, you know, and listening
Yep,
to like
Project
all my
Gotham
music.
Racing. Ah.
you ain't missing nothing, bro.
Jeez.
You ain't missing nothing at all, dog. You got a PC, you play your Xbox game, man. You ain't missing nothing.
Facts.
If it weren't for that Duke
Yeah.
controller, Tony Hawk would have been goated on that one because you'd be able to do the same thing on there.
Oh, what the? Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
play the soundtrack with like whatever music you wanted to in that
Yep.
game too.
I hated the Sega games. As Jet said, ooh, Panzer, ooh, all the games we talked about earlier.
You know what? I'll go ahead and get up out of here. It's about to. No, I'm just.
You
It's
know,
like-
another thing you can.
What
I'm sorry,
games
go ahead.
do you like? Can we? I'm talking to
Jigglypuff and the stuff.
Oh,
That name fire. I don't care. Like,
Oh, it's one of
but
the best.
Jigglypuff said they was a Sega person though, and it sounded
I
like
said they
maybe
hated that it didn't. Oh, that it went to the Xbox. 'cause
Oh,
they-
yeah.
okay.
So you hated the fact, and I get that.
Yeah.
But what they, I mean, that's the best decision that Sega made was, hey, we can't make consoles no more. So
Right.
here,
So
my
Just
games,
stick
y'all.
around.
Yeah.
Right.
and some of their best versions came out on the other systems. But
Sonic Adventure
True.
2
battle,
on
yeah.
the GameCube.
Now that is the better version. One thing I think of that took away from that initial console war with the Sega Nintendo is it put that stigmatism on Nintendo that's kind of untrue. Like, hey, if you want to be cool and you're not a kid, get this Sega. That shit worked.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Because
Yeah.
even to this day,
for
there's
years,
that.
Yeah.
People say Nintendo is for kids. It's not. It really ain't. You go back and play.
No.
We were talking about this other day. Go back and play Ocarina of Time or Metroid. That shit ain't for no kids.
Seriously. Yeah.
But
But
even then, Nintendo being so smart, they leaned into that.
They
really
leaned into it.
marketing.
Yeah.
Because if you remember the Wii commercial, Wii Sports, like the
Wii-
greatest.
We want to play
the
with
the
you.
Wii did
Yeah.
what the Wii
That
did
shit was
was get
crazy.
more casual folks into gaming.
We shop Wednesdays, man.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
that's that damn song. That song, bro, man. Rest in peace to the eShop. But the DS and Wii U eShop,
I fucking love that song, dude.
man.
my
They were smart with it. Like it worked. That slogan worked at the time because the blood was in the games for the Sega, but
Right.
it'd be green or something or out completely on Super Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the
Yeah.
split came to
What,
with
with
Street
Mortal
Fighter and
Kombat?
Mortal Kombat. Like
Yep.
you want to play Street Fighter, you get the Super Nintendo. You want to play Mortal Kombat, you get the Sega.
The
Right.
6-button control.
If you live in Frida House, you're not playing
Any of that shit.
none of that shit. If it's fighting
Oh,
and
man.
blood, you're not playing.
Yeah.
Did I get your question? There we go. Okay, then I got a question from Outlaw. In y'all retro experience, what's something you missed that you wish you experienced in the moment?
Something I
Wait, what
missed.
was-
Wait, can
So-
you clarify?
So with retro gaming, what's something back then or something that you missed at the time that it happened and came out that you wish you could experience?
Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
While
Chrono
it was
Trigger for
happening.
me. Chrono Trigger, that game, I always remembered seeing
my
in
favorite.
magazines thinking it was Dragon Ball Z because I didn't
Akira.
know artists at the time and Akira Toriyama being the artist for those games. So I
Mhm.
always thought it was just another Dragon Ball thing. And then years later, I was like, no, this is this epic JRPG journey that I completely missed out because I was enamored with Final Fantasy VI. And that was all I was playing when it was 3 at
Aquathor.
the
Oh,
time.
that's another one. That's another anomaly we'll get into real after this.
Yeah.
What about you,
So,
man?
I'll probably
Finally got to
say.
play a few
Oh,
years
go
ago.
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, my bad.
I'll
No, that
probably
was
say
it.
Smash Bros. Because I'm although
Ooh.
I can catch up today and play with the homies, I missed out on heavy on the Nintendo 64 and moving forward. You know what I mean? So that one kind of hits home to see everybody else have that experience and take what they have from one Smash Bros and bring it to the next and
Mm.
get better at it and then move on. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's a little hard for me to stick with it at times, because I'm a competitor. So if I don't feel like I'm progressing, then I kind of fall back a little bit. But it's
I feel
always
it.
fun to watch too.
Bro, it'll be the Pokemon gens for Cole and Sirius at the Game Boy. The Game Boy Advance are big, not for me, but I always say, if you skipped out, that was another consequence of the console war thing. Handheld started to be felt like they were for children too.
Mhm.
But the Game Boy Advance, the DS, and Nintendo 3DS era was some of the best creative gaming ever. Library was solid, and I know he went back and played Minish Cap, and that's a great. But my bad for interrupting y'all.
That's how my mom was. She the bigger consoles were for the boys and the handhelds was for my sister. So when I wanted her to purchase Pokemon, she was like, "No, that's your sister game." I was like, "All right."
Dang.
Damn.
Damn.
That'll
That
make me not play
sucks. They got one
because at that time I'll be like, oh, they're not for me then. Again.
Right, yeah.
Right.
No,
Right.
And I'll never
So-
go back to it.
the impact of influence. It's crazy.
I have a very specific story for this.
All right.
So I was generations behind in terms of consoles. So I had saved my money to get a PlayStation 1 and I got it late. So like I got all the games I ever wanted. I don't know if you guys remember the Pizza Hut promo with like the demo disc.
Yes.
Oh
The
man.
cool
okay,
borders,
so
the Final Fantasy 8.
Metal Gear Solid 1 demo for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I got this PlayStation 1. I played it for like the weekend, and then my mom comes up to me and she's like, the PlayStation 2's coming out. If we return your PlayStation 1, you can I'll pay the difference for your PlayStation 2. And I was like, this is unreal. So we go to Toys R Us. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna take this deal. So we go to Toys R Us, and then I return my PlayStation 1 and all the games. And I was like, okay, so where's the PlayStation 2? And then the woman looks at me and she goes, the PlayStation 2 doesn't come out for like, I want to say another year or so. And I look at my mom, she goes, you don't need any more video games.
Oh.
And I was devastated. To this day, I missed out on what I felt was probably the coolest gaming experience, the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 era of gaming. And I've got a PS2 right here that I'm looking to get into. But that dude, yeah, missing out on PS2 was crazy.
That actually just
Damn.
broke me. Good
Bro, I'm
Lord.
hurt, bro.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Hurt.
it devastated me.
I
Couldn't
can
believe it.
imagine.
You're gonna enjoy a huge
Matt-
library.
Blue
right
Sims,
here.
I feel the same
Dog.
way, bro. I want to hug
Yo.
him too.
Dog.
That's a solid
And
story.
That's
ironically,
crazy.
like my story ain't as bad as that, but it was the same system. Like
PlayStation 2 or
For
1?
real.
the PS2.
Oh,
I didn't get into the PS2 until I got to college while the PS3 was out, because like I was you getting this console house, I ain't had the money at the time, so I know that library was deep, but I had a GameCube, so a lot of the games I could get, but a lot of RPGs and random stuff I couldn't get. And funny enough, even though I was late to the PS2, the first two games I bought was Persona 4 and Persona 3, which were actually new at the time at the end of the PS2's lifetime.
Oh, nice.
And that switched some stuff up. Hold on real quick. There go. My bad. Just a calling. Did everybody answer?
I don't think I answered actually.
no, you did not,
From-
press.
For me, probably the one console I remember wanting like super bad as a kid, and I feel like nobody actually owned this console when it was actually out. But the Neo Geo, and the Neo Geo, if you're unfamiliar, was like this. Like the Neo Geo's kind of represented the first time where you could get an arcade experience exactly like it is, but on a home console. And it was priced appropriately. I may be making this up, but I feel like in my head the Neo Geo was $8.99 on release.
$8.99?
Yeah.
No, $900, $899.
Yeah. Was
I
that the
wanna
one
say-
with like the?
Which one of them
you
camera
can
yours
take the
too?
thing
Hold on.
out and then put it in,
You gotta go.
like play
So-
a handheld in.
800.
So
Well, you tripping.
the original Neo Geo controller was like a little arcade stick. Like I think Neo Geo shipped with the console and an arcade stick, and you probably could buy like a regular padded controller, but it was known for being and basically the arcade experience at home. But the games were super expensive, the console was super expensive, and it didn't last long for that very reason.
$899.
But all of the games that I love, Art
Hell
of
no.
Fighting, Metal Slug,
Metal
Samurai
Slug.
Showdown.
Good thing you got a Dreamcast, because that's a port machine.
All of these. Yeah, exactly. So when I finally got the Dreamcast was in fact an arcade experience at home because it was based on the Naomi board that so many games were, being built in the arcade. So it was that first experience for me where I played something in the arcades. I came home and it was that exact same game. But yeah, Neo Geo for sure. I really wanted that console like super bad.
I ain't on.
Prez break shit down. He make me want to get a Neo Geo.
Right, I want one now too. I know I'm lying. Now
I'm not sure if it was Neo Geo or not, but like there was like a one that you essentially almost like today's Switch, where it
The
was
Neo
like
Geo
a
Pocket?
handheld. Is that what it was? And then like you could put it into the thing and play it on your TV.
I think they probably did later on release.
know,
Like
Nintendo had the little
early
Game Boy thing.
2000s or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Nintendo did it a
that
lot
one.
too. You could put your NES
So-
games, your Game Boy games in your Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I had to look it up. Neo Geo on release. This was, hold on, let me look up the year. So in 1991, this cost $649 on release. Inflation
God.
equivalent would probably be like $1,200.
Cost more than the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
But
So
game is too expensive these days. It wasn't like that back in the day.
He's triggered. He's triggered.
$70 games, wow. Consoles that are 500, wow. The Switch is too much. 350, no. Head ass, bro. What?
He was doing so good, bro. He was doing so good.
But it just put it into perspective. Like, dang, that's how much stuff was back then.
Yeah.
Them cartridges, though, bro. That's what did it, and that leads to what Aquathor had said. I wonder what would have happened if Nintendo actually accommodated the disc to accommodate Final Fantasy VII. Well, hell, PlayStation low key might not exist.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny how the decisions of the big two at the time, Sega and Nintendo, influenced what we
It
have
created
today.
two other.
Facts.
They created
Yeah.
two other companies, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
There would there would be no competition. Sega might have still be. You know what? Sega would still be here. So if that ever happened, think about it. If that ever happened, the Dreamcast would have did good because there would be no PS2
Yep.
to fuck its sales up. No
That's
PS2
crazy.
means no Dreamcast ends, which means no Microsoft. So Microsoft probably still would have came eventually, but maybe.
Yeah, they
Maybe.
probably still.
But they wouldn't
They
have had no
would've- they
games.
would've
Oh wait,
strong-armed their foot in the door.
I would have said they wouldn't have had no games, but you know.
I mean, but no,
That ain't stopped- that ain't never stopped them.
them.
That ain't never stopped
Hit
them.
the ether. Hit the ether. You know you want to. Go ahead. But no.
I mean, Nintendo know what they doing. Like, as much
Yeah.
as we say they don't know what they doing, they give us what they need to survive or what they think we need versus what we want.
Mhm.
And then sometimes they give us something that we didn't even know we wanted until we get it.
Yeah.
But they've been a company transforming since what, 1891, 89,
Yeah,
something
when
like
they
that.
were a card game
Hot as
company.
minute.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
They know what they doing. They saved the gaming community at one point. Like there was a big gaming crash, and the Super Nintendo brought it back, and then the Sega helped bring it back. Like,
Mhm.
and they just keep innovating, and people still keep stealing. Like even when they
Competition is healthy.
your hardware trash, but people still be trying to emulate what the Switch do, or
Yeah.
the GameCube did, or the Wii did, or the Super Nintendo did, or the N64 did, or the Game Boy did. Like, it's a cycle.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nintendo didn't even register in my mind from Super Nintendo to the Wii. Like, bruh, competition definitely saved it. But
Yeah.
that
Guns.
the times would be wild. PlayStation probably wouldn't exist because they would still be partnering with Nintendo.
That's
Or
the
a
even
bit.
more wild thing, that those units still happen to exist around people's houses.
Yeah.
With the
yeah.
discs. Yeah.
Mhm.
The
This
Just
off
keeps
this off
advancing
retro
stuff.
topic. I want to ask why we got people here because we saying competition saves everything. It does. How do y'all feel? That's why I say exclusives do matter. How y'all feel about this Activision shit? This
I think Bobby
Activision
Kotick's gotta go.
Blizzard. He do gotta go.
Oh,
How y'all feel about that?
I don't even know
Undoubtedly.
what's going on with Activision, to be honest with you.
It's
Yeah.
probably about to get bought by Microsoft.
Oh yeah, they buy everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, they can't make nothing, so they gotta buy it. So
yeah. I don't know.
So-
I
I
think
love
like when
Xbox.
it comes down to it, to me, I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I haven't participated in like a console thing.
it
in a
ain't even
while.
a war thing to me. It's just
No, it's
Yeah.
it's but it is like about there's like certain exclusives, right? And I think like the hardest part for me has been like kind of reconciling that I just don't want to I just don't care enough to participate. You know, like I like games, so like what I'm gonna focus on is like, is the game accessible to me?
can I
And
get
can I
it?
get it on PC?
Yeah, Activision
Big
Blizzard
Facts.
is
Big
you know,
facts.
getting bought by Microsoft, so that means Call of Duty probably gonna be on Game Pass, which for a lot of people that's a W because
I think so too.
it's a $7 game you ain't
definitely
gotta
a
buy.
W.
I look,
Yeah.
that's the only way I was gonna play it again because Call of Duty kind of mad to me right now. Call of Duty.
So
Call of Duty. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
semantics that I think I'm over right now. You know, the whole argument of, you know, does this cause, you know, is Microsoft basically becoming a monopoly? Are they going to have majority? Like, Call of Duty represents a lot of money
It
that
do?
circulates in the industry, but it's not, you know, it's not the only money that's being pushed forward. And to be fair, I don't even think Sony believed that. That wasn't the purpose ever to me of the lawsuit. in
They
the
get a
first
lot
place.
of
Them
money
pushing
though
forward-
from. They do get a lot of
They
money
do,
from
and
it.
they wanted to guarantee that they don't lose that revenue. They never thought that Microsoft was going to have a majority share of the gaming industry by acquiring Activision Blizzard. They
'Cause the
just
East
literally did
don't
not want
care.
to lose that money. The problem is
Right.
just like politics, right? When you got a you know, an argument that happens, or you know, when two people get on a stage and they gotta discuss, well, now mud starts getting slung. So now it's little, you know, petty things happening between the two companies.
And that's been annoying, boy.
I've been over the whole thing. Like at the end of the day, you know, let them purchase it. Microsoft's already said, like, all right, you know, and to be fair, I personally feel like Microsoft would make more money keeping it non-exclusive anyway. So I don't even really see
Yeah.
why it would benefit them. Because I don't necessarily feel like Call of Duty would be a console seller either, because you know a lot of people play on PC now, even if
It
they
ain't.
have a console.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like I don't see where they were going to lose the money in the first place, but it was just a power play by them, and now it's just ugly. And
I just don't like the
It's a-
comparisons. They try to say that, well, they do the timed exclusives. That's a timed exclusive. This is a whole third party company that's getting bought.
Right.
But
and it go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, that's all. Yeah, it just I don't think it's the same measurement. But also I agree. Like I don't think it's just gonna drastically mess over everybody else. Nintendo
It's
Nintendo
not.
ain't had a Call of Duty game on their system since the Wii U.
The Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with Prez. I think money is the main motivator. They could care less. They know what they're gonna get as far as who gonna be loyal and buy the consoles. It's all about the subscriptions. You know, if somebody has the thought to play Call of Duty, I'm like, all right, well, I'll just subscribe. That's just, you know,
And
more subscriptions.
you know, this is
a-
low key a one up of what Sega did. Sega said, I can't win in this console market, so let me just focus on the software.
right.
And then
Exactly.
Microsoft said, I can't win in this console war, so let me focus on being a subscription in as many places as I can be.
Exactly. Exactly.
They're
Because somebody
making money
gonna
from
buy
it.
an Xbox, they know who they gonna get with that.
Yeah, but
I think the more frustrating part for me, more so even so than the mudslinging, is the fact that there is leadership changes that has to happen at that company, right?
Mm,
right.
And none of that can happen until this is over, right? Like this loophole has to be fixed first. So this is extending a problem that needs to be fixed. You know, regarding once it's in Microsoft court, now you know all eyes will be on them. Like, okay, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because that problem is there. You know what I'm saying? He can't stay in power. So I want this to go ahead and go through so we can see what the next step is and, you know, kind of act accordingly.
Right. And believe in competition with equality, yeah, or equity. Either way, I think we good. I don't know. This has gotten a lot of people debating on. You know, Microsoft needs to buy Capcom and Sega. I'm like, no, the fuck they don't. Like, I think
I don't. Capcom nor Sega need to be bought by anybody.
Right.
They're fine.
Yeah, there's certain companies that'll be fine with whatever main IPs are making them enough to keep afloat.
I mean, I don't think they could do it either. Just by the stuff that's the laws they have in like Japan and stuff like. And again, like that doesn't benefit their market because it's an American company. I mean, it benefits in a way because you're taking control of their games, but I feel like it would hurt the brand because are you going to focus on making games for that market, or are you going to focus on making games for the Western audience that ain't already ain't selling you a lot?
I don't think it'd be as big of an issue as Sony's making out to be if Japan didn't relocate everything to really be state-based.
Yeah.
And I think because Sony in the States is really running things a lot more now, it's become a problem for them and their eyes as they see. Because if Japan was really fully taking control of it, I don't think it'd be a null and void issue because I don't think they'd feel as impacted by it. But the fact that Sony really doesn't have their own first-party multiplayer game yet, meanwhile they have FPS style games like Killzone that they could just bring back that franchise and give it a shot. I don't know why they're not trying to take this opportunity to do something different if that's the case with their own IPs.
Well, that's what I think. Like, it kind of fosters this sort of like comfortableness that I like safe choices, you know, in the gaming space. And it's not that like, yeah, it's not that like making a safe choice is bad, but it's like how do you revitalize the industry and like make people? It's so weird to me that like everybody's like grasping at this game that has been largely the same for like year over year.
Because let's keep it a bean. The other Activision games, folks don't really care about. Like I like Tony Hawk. I'm not gonna stop. Wait. I'm gonna get to your game. Diablo. Outside of that,
you're talking about like World of Warcraft,
World of Warcraft, like those.
Overwatch 2,
Overwatch.
Yeah, like it's that core base of games that already got its audience that we know.
Right.
They're not dumb enough to. Well, maybe they are dumb enough to not put those on other consoles, especially when that's what's making you your money. And do they want money? That's my question. You want money? Because
well, I think it's easy to say that like subjectively, but again, like when it comes down to like the shareholders, right? Like the shareholders, how do you guarantee revenue? Overwatch 2 comes out, largely the same game, revamped graphics, that sort of thing. Free to play, you know, like that's how we keep it safe over here. Is we're just kind of regurgitate the same thing we've been doing and the safe thing to do because it's not threatening our shareholders. It's super weird. Like when a company is that big, I think that's more of my big worry is that we're gonna see more games that are so safe that like they don't really because to me the beautiful thing about gaming, creativity, like the whole beautiful thing about gaming is like it removes me from my everyday life and gives me an experience that I otherwise would not have. And yes, I do like competitive games and I like games that like, you know, make me think dimensionally about like how I can manipulate the world and blah blah blah. But like if I'm just gonna be playing a fucking first person shooter game and everybody's still asking for like the Rust map in Call of Duty still, I'm like, how much are we changing and how much is this benefiting us? You know what I mean? Like it's really weird to me that like people strive for the same. But again, it harkens back to the whole this is comfortable conversation. I don't know if that's good for us.
Yeah, corporate needs, shareholders don't mix with the creativity conversation at all, right?
Yeah,
and
that's
that's the unfortunate thing. Like, you know, when deadlines get in the way of what you are trying to create as far as an experience is concerned, you get things like the Cyberpunk release, right?
Yeah.
Where a game gets released way ahead of time.
E.T.?
Yeah.
From
That was
Atari?
rushed. They said it was rushed. It was very
It's-
rushed.
I don't
He
know.
said he made it.
I don't
I
even
can't
know if
remember how
Tom was
fast
saying
he
that
made
game,
it.
bro.
But
I
yeah,
don't
he
know what
said
to-
he said it was rushed. Hey, listen.
Sorry, I had to stop you, Prez. I was just like,
No, 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 it's
ET,
fine.
bro.
You said it. I had to stop. too. I
fucking
was like,
synapse were firing.
Oh, we
dude.
oh,
I
we
kinda like-
ET.
I mean, but it
That's
is,
funny,
bro.
but he right.
ET did.
That crashed the market.
crashed the entire- yeah.
Which
I
is
didn't know
wild,
that was
yeah.
the excuse though. I didn't know that they said it was rushed. I just thought it was a terrible game.
How
Well, it
you-
was bad. It was bad, but he didn't.
Hydrate time. Gotcha.
He didn't. He didn't make a good game.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like that's why we have such a passionate love for indie developers because yeah, of course, like I don't think anybody sets out to create any type of content, entertainment, movies, games, whatever, and not, profit from it, right? Nobody's just like, here's my life's work, enjoy, whatever, right? You're trying to make a living. So I get that, right? But indies, in a way, do so that, yes, this is a passionate project of mine. I have this grandiose story, or I have this new gameplay idea, or I have this artwork, or whatever the case may be. And the further and larger up you get up that ladder of financial success, not even just in gaming, but really in entertainment as a whole, it becomes this thing, like you said, safety in numbers. We know people are going to buy this. This is why Madden is the same damn near every year. This is why Call of Duty doesn't deviate from that. This is why movies get remade with IPs that you've already seen 3 or 4 times because they know they're going to prey on that nostalgic value. You're going to
I mean,
go
the casuals
watch that. You're
too.
gonna go see that.
Like, folks only some folks really buy a system just to play Call of Duty, and literally
Yeah.
that's it. So
There's
I
not-
mean,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But
you
I
know,
mean,
like,
that's why it's gonna keep going because it's there. It's gonna. I mean,
That's why the safety.
But
will
that's
continue.
what. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your.
No.
that's all I was
I'm
gonna say.
literally-
That's why
that's
it's gonna
literally-
keep
yeah.
happening because that's gonna exist. I only
Well,
want to play this
that's
one
what we've
game.
created, and
Yeah.
like climbing up the ladder. That's what a free market is. That's why you're going to get copycats of certain things, like seeing elements of Breath of the Wild in
Genshin.
like Genshin and stuff. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what we are as our that's what our whole country is as far as business goes. Each and every time. Uber.
Good point.
You got your Uber, you're gonna get a Lyft.
Oop.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how it goes.
So do you guys think, and I know this is a little bit of a separate part of it, but like, do you guys think that the things that disrupt the market, not disrupt the market, but I guess like keep the breath in the market is largely attributed to indie games? Because that's what I
Yes.
feel like.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
and Nintendo.
And
I thought you was gonna say keeping the breath of the wild. Like
Of
I was
the
hoping you
wild.
said that. I was hoping you said that for some reason. I don't know. But I agree. You're
No,
right.
indie is definitely the biggest part of that. Because like we said earlier, Nintendo stays creative. Sony
Yeah.
does it a little bit, but they also kind of fall into that trap too. But indie games, they're the passion projects that the developers back then had. Hello.
Yeah.
They are the passion projects that existed back in the day when gaming first started. They're like the joy we got in certain generations of gaming. Those are the same people that are making those games to recapture their childhood, to recapture the moment. And when you get tired of seeing the same thing over and over again, then let me make it myself. Or the indie games also are heavily influenced by the culture, like, or their own personal culture. So you see things like Chia and you learn things. I think that's why indie games are getting more popular. But they are leading the way as far as creativity. And then unfortunately, sometimes that leads to the bigger devs seeing these ideas and taking it for themselves. But that's like you said, that's the free market.
take like the biggest thing you see in multiplayer gaming today, really, which is like Battle Royale, right? That was the brainchild of a indie developer. And they saw, this was successful, this was, gaining popularity, and now you damn near can't have a multiplayer game without some form of Battle Royale.
Very
implemented
true.
into it,
True.
Very
Yeah.
true. And a game can get a bad rep because it can get a negative aspect if you stop playing as well. You could be biased. So Just depends.
Just, I
'Cause
mean,
we Call of Duty is huge.
it's gonna stay that way.
We're gonna gravitate to what would a lot of
Boy,
people
yeah,
are playing and have played and stuff like that. So, it just depends.
Thank you,
because
Swell.
Super Metroid has remnants of what we talked about. The game that TG played and was really big on. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is a a child of so it just depends on
Ban them too.
who's talking, what they
I
like.
can't wait to start playing that.
Anything could get a negative aspect.
What's up with people today? Nah, you gotta go.
You know what's up? It's some.
You see too many people on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
They've been.
Right.
It's been happening the whole stream. I just ain't said nothing.
Right.
You've been doing good.
But on that one, I had to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
something because that's just wild.
Yeah.
I barely saw it, but I appreciate you, Swim. I'm sorry for paying attention to it. I apologize. But yeah, I agree. What's good, ADZ? What's good, fam? See you. Ooh, boy, I almost. But I know you.
almost lost it, Oh man, that's what they wanted, bro.
That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. That's my fault. Yeah, I love that aspect of it. So I know Prayer's answer to this, but what's everybody? And then in the chat too. What's your favorite generational console? Like what the generation? So NES and everything that came out then. Super Nintendo, Sega, N64, PlayStation 1, GameCube, Xbox, Dreamcast, PS. You know that. What's your favorite era? And most folks should know my answer.
Yeah.
I think I know your answer too. You go, Prayers. I don't know your answer. Blue said he knows yours. I don't know yours.
Oh, I still want to answer. I know his.
Yeah,
but
100%.
We the same.
The Dreamcast era. I mean, that's my favorite console, but also it just represented like the turn of everything that I love about gaming that we have today, right? Like Dreamcast was kind of like that first foray into higher definition 3D gaming, multiplayer gaming. Sports games were evolving. It represents really the last time that I was into shooters, honestly, because I used to be like, not to pat myself on the back, but I used to be goated at Quake 3. Like that was my shit.
Quake, boy.
Yeah. So in a way, that's like a nostalgic era for me because I was a different type of gamer back then than I am now. But I loved everything about the Dreamcast, PS2. I kind of lump Dreamcast up in there. I know it's really people say PS2, GameCube, Xbox.
It's there too.
It's there
and especially since most of their games came out on those other systems later.
Yeah.
I also throw Game Boy
sure.
Advance and the DS in that little
Sure.
area.
Yeah. I wasn't, I hadn't gotten into handheld gaming yet, but I know for sure,
My knee hurt.
Fire.
Destiny 2 on the PS2 is my childhood. Oh Lord, my back. Oh. Well, was I in college or out of college when Destiny 2 came out? That shit's still out. That shit still dropping new content. My childhood.
Brother, I was when Destiny 2 came out, I was married. The fuck?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Timelines. Here we go.
God.
Here we go.
Oh, Destiny 1. All right. Still.
Still.
God.
What are you standing up for?
I remember when Peter Dinklage was still voicing the ghost.
Oh boy.
Oh, man. Here y'all go.
Oh boy. What's good, Bodek? What's good, brother? What about you, Glenn? Oh, you about to go ahead. What you about to say?
No. I was literally gonna say I'd get back into Destiny 2 if I had people to play with.
I got it.
I'll play with you.
Like I got the new stuff. I was playing it by myself. And I got I got some homies to play it with too. I just be forgetting to turn it on. But if y'all look, I'm down with it. I know we gonna need folks to do raids. You need about 6-7 people for that shit or whatever. I ain't did that in no long.
I'm a noob, so
Shit, I might as well be new. But I'm with Prez since we got the same answer. I'm gonna go with that generation too. Like, it's just I feel like that was peak creativity in gaming. GameCube, Dreamcast, PS2. People said, "Fuck it, let's try it." Like that, like Katamari Damacy, all the Luigi's Mansion, Custom Robo, stuff like that. Like games that we never thought we'd see. You go to the Game Boy Advance, games like Drill Dozer or Bowtie. I don't know if folks remember Bowtie. Like you had to go outside because they had a solar panel in that bit.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much Metal Gear Vampire Hunter. But that I gotta go with that. It was just so much innovation. That was the last part of my childhood. Like as a teen, like experiencing different games. Though I played more new games during that era than I did previously learning games. So I gotta go there. It was a step up from the N64 and PS1 for me. Graphic wise, power wise, and creativity wise, they took the ideas from that and enhanced on them. That's why I love that generation.
Right.
Yep.
I'm a follow up and also go with that generation. My reason is going to be a whole lot different because I mentioned Frida Grant. That's my mom. So my mom raised me in the church, and I love her for it. I have that foundation everywhere I go. I carry it with me everywhere I go, and I appreciate her for giving me that. But when I hit the PS2, I was making my own money, so I could buy my own games. I could buy, my consoles and everything. So my mom didn't buy violent games. We've had some tragic things happen in life where they said video games were the reason why these people did these horrible things. So I get why she was protecting me and doing what she did. So when I got to experience like Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, and all those, I didn't go do anything horrible to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm going with that.
What you doing? I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you for those 10 gifted subs, dog. Appreciate you for the love. You don't stream, but that's my brother in real life. Shout out to my friend, bro, Poppy from Bodega. Appreciate you for the love, bro. And I also appreciate you for the answer, Glenn, because that's some real shit. I appreciate you, dog. Let me see who else. And also, Weirdland Street, Bees, Notorious, Wild American appears. Hey, bitch, Sugar Daddy, Curl Shine, Tummy Asterisk. It's Dario and Champ Homebody. Got something. Oh no, you good? You good, bro?
For that.
You good? Nah, that shit caught me off guard because I had to read it. I couldn't see the last part. I was like, this shit got to be bad. But then I remember that person, so they were good. But it's like when you read Wild American, I'm like, oh shit, that could be anything, bro.
Fact, bro. Shout out to Xbox, asking them who they were.
Wild.
What about y'all?
I feel like I want to say it's the GameCube, PS2, Xbox.
Damn, that shit just
era.
goated, ain't it?
It really is.
Because I'm like trying to think about like the amount of like games that I played and like when they were so like prominent, and I'm like, I remember playing Ninja Gaiden. I remember playing Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey. I remember playing so many different games. Also, like there was a lot of only on Xbox, like games too.
Don't get that too much
So,
these days.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then got a GameCube later, and remember like fighting over like who got to play Animal Crossing.
Bruh,
today.
what? That was like the first game. Like, cause you got to share the city in the memory card. You could bring your memory card to your homies. Like,
Yeah, I'm coming over, and I'm gonna fuck up your.
I'm about to piss everybody off.
Yeah, I'm about to buy all these shop items, and you can't get anything. So.
Bye.
Digging holes everywhere.
Yeah, but yeah, Oddworld. Shout out to Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey. So like
That was the first
game,
one I played.
I never played any of the Oddworld games on PS1. Well, you guys heard my story about PS2 and shit. So it was like, I was like, this is the first like console exclusive game that came out on the Xbox. I never played a game like that, and it was just like this really cool story. It was the first game I played with like fully animated like CG movie sequences, and it was all about like consumerism and a lot of messaging related to like taking away indigenous people's like land and shit, but it was all in the Oddworld universe, and I was like, all of this is really compelling.
Everybody's so
It's
creative.
very good. So and the art is amazing. I got the Oddworld Inhabitants like art book when it was released like years and years ago. That book goes for like $400 now because it's got
Damn.
everything they've ever like made. It's so cool.
Ironically, that was the first Xbox game I played back at Walmart when I used to play games like this.
You
Like-
broke your neck.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like that was, and I was like, damn, this game kind of fun. I don't even know what the hell this is, why they look like
Yeah.
this, but it was
Super
kind of cool.
Stiff as hell.
Nick
I will
hurt though
say,
afterwards.
The name Munch's Odyssey might have a much different meaning today.
Today,
But,
boy, Munch's Odyssey.
Joe,
You thought I was feeling you.
Yo,
You thought I was
What's
feeling you.
I'm dead.
You thought I was playing you.
Make sure you when you're googling that looking for it, it's the
It's Odyssey
it
Munch.
was Xbox game, otherwise you might get something.
Man.
You thought I was playing.
feeling you?
Who about you, Joe?
Oh my god. I'm gonna do another hardware spin over here, but I gotta give it up to the GOAT. Game Boy Advance.
Wait, what mine?
Yo.
is?
Modded the hell out of
Hold
Bro, why
mine.
you always playing
So,
around?
that
See, let me go find
Hold
something.
on, bro.
Son,
So,
Not even. What mine at? Hold on.
Hold on.
Cause mine like white.
I modded this out. So it's got a new shell. It's got an IPS screen that
wrong one.
I'll be able to adjust the brightness just by touching the corner over here.
oh,
So cool.
I'm able to go RCA out with this thing now. They've continued to people just continue to modify the hell out of this damn thing, and this
Hell
is
yeah.
like my favorite console because this was Nintendo paying attention to backwards compatibility before they kind of like did it
God.
half-assed now. I can still play
God.
my Game Boy Color, my Game Boy Advance games all in one. Golden Sun was my jam. Mega Man Battle Network, freaking
You're not playing around.
Metroid Fusion, and like it just
Metroid
works,
Fusion.
dude. I even got like USB-C charge. It's a rechargeable battery now. Like, dude,
So cool.
I gotta
the
get
amount of
one.
things people put love into modifying these older consoles is insane. And
What you looking for, Prez?
Uh-oh.
Nah, he said Mega Man Battle Network, and I was gonna confirm. I was like, so you're very excited in the next 2 weeks, aren't you? Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
can
No,
play
that's
all
cool.
the other ones that I never got to play.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all gonna be on it.
Yeah, I
Oh
gotta
my
get one. Somebody tried to sell me a PlayStation 3 that was backwards compatible, and he was like, the only thing is it's gonna fail and completely stop working. I said, well, I'm not buying that. I'm not gonna buy it. Like,
Thank you for
Is
your
it like
transparency.
yellow?
I'm
lighting
sad
or
I can't
something?
find mine right now.
I don't know what he just said. Like it'll play PS2 games and everything, but after a while, because of the backwards compatibility, it's gonna stop working. I said,
Hmm.
I'm not getting.
That's interesting. Because
That's
no, I
very
had my
interesting.
PS3 from college. That's why I was like, I mean, it's done it a few times, but I went in and like changed out the thermal paste and like cleaned up the entire thing, and I
Oh, you-
mostly stopped the issue that I was having, where it would just like mid-game failed to load, and I'd have to restart the whole thing again.
Oh, so you?
Did you say you wanted a modded Gmod?
Huh?
I thought it said. I thought you typed in the chat. I wanted a
Whoa.
modded Gmod. I was like, what? He did
You thought I
put
was
that.
killing you?
I thought I was reading that wrong.
Oh my
Definitely.
Wow. I wasn't reading it wrong. It's in the chat.
Dog.
Bruh.
Man.
Oh,
But yeah, I was big on handheld gaming since the Game Boy, so
And I
like
love
that
it.
was my like main gaming system out of everything in general. So like if I got a game, I usually would get like the bootleg version because Game Boy had like Mega Man would come out, but then I'd get Mega Man X would come out, and I get Mega Man Extreme like rented out from
Extreme was fun though.
Hey, listen.
back in the day. I don't know, man.
Get in where you fit in, my dog.
As a
Get
kid,
in
I ain't
where
no
you fit in.
difference.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
that
When
was
people was playing
boy.
Pokemon, I just had cards.
you know.
That was it. You feel like I'm dead at
Yeah,
like
I
my
feel it, I
mom was
feel it.
not having it, bro. Like, that's your sisters.
Modded good
Don't
money,
touch
man.
it.
Oh man.
Don't touch it. All right.
Let's play some Yu-Gi-Oh.
All right.
Right.
So with that, let's see. What's up? Give me y'all underrated retro game. Give me a game that you think deserves his flowers. Anybody in
Tetris
chat
Attack.
too?
Tetris Attack.
Ooh.
Tetris Attack.
Oh, that's a
Is
classic.
it
Oh
Tetris
my
Attack?
Tetris Attack. Yep. Super Nintendo. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. Tetris Attack.
Comic Zone. Ooh.
Oh my god.
Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron. That's nice. Mine custom Robo on the GameCube. Like, I need another game. That was pretty fun. Making your own robot and then throwing in the arena to battle. It was like mini Gundams. Evil Zone. Ooh.
I gotta think about that one.
Gotta
too.
think on it. Ooh.
You know a game I liked? What was this? I'm trying to think.
Steel
I'm trying to remember if it
Battalion.
was 360 or regular Xbox, but there was this game that got released called
Winx.
Advent
Oh, okay.
Rising.
Yes.
And I don't think that game got enough attention. Like, it had its flaws, but that game was super fun to me. I love the music. I thought the game was dope. I might actually see if I can go back and try to play that game again. But I just remember loving it, and I remember the reviews were, if I remember correctly, I think they were like so on it. But it was a dope. adventure
2005.
shooter
A lot of them so games. What kind of game was it?
A 3D action adventure game
Yeah.
with like shooting. I think it got overlooked honestly because Halo
Yep.
was like it had similar enemies, so like people, I don't know.
Probably looked at it like Halo Light.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like, this isn't Halo. So
That's wild.
I
'Cause
don't know.
Halo today is Halo Light. That's wild, bro.
I hate that light word is hilarious.
Red Steel was dope,
Oh,
Serial.
man.
Red
Halo
Steel
Light,
was
that
good.
just killed- That's drawn. Halo Light.
I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
ever played. There was a game on original Xbox called Brute Force. That was a really
Yo.
cool.
Ooh.
Didn't they have that on N64 too?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no, it was on Dreamcast.
Somebody go check.
It was a Microsoft.
I played it
Microsoft
somewhere.
Game Studio. Brute Force was
Or-
a Microsoft Game Studios game.
Maybe not. I just remember
Oh.
playing it.
That was before. It was before fucking any like squad based shooter where like people had like individual powers and shit. It was like everybody had, there was like 4 unique personalities. It was like Mass Effect before Mass Effect was a fucking
Ooh,
thing.
good old
That's what I
Mass
remember
Effect.
about it.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of really cool, like there was another like that one, and then there's a really weird series. It was like a Togi, or like it was Souls like third person
Souls
melee,
like.
and you could like destroy the environment, and I thought that was really cool. Like there wasn't a game that was like that. Let me see if I can find it.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it had like a really magical looking cover, and it looked like it didn't look normal.
I'm glad you know what he's talking about. You know,
Oh, this Brute
I have
Force.
no idea.
I can't think of what you was talking about.
Otogi.
Yeah,
Let the
OTOGI. Yeah,
I
yeah.
had this game.
Yeah.
I did. Because when you said, I was like, this, because it was a Sega game. That's what made me buy it.
Mm.
But
was very
yeah,
cool.
Togi was actually fun. Yeah, it was really dope. Damn, you bringing. You got all
Yeah.
this.
That's look.